Yo, what's up, everybody? This is TA from Noble Sports Entertainment. Um, glad to have you guys on today. We're back with the roundtable on today. Today I got with me 313 J-Mo. Where are you at, Jay?
What's good, y'all? It's been a while. What's up?
What's up? I also got my man filling in for Derek P. Fields, the Gridiron Blitz. I got my man Troxel Sports talking the house. What's up, Trav?
What up, though, everybody?
And also, last but not least, the field general is in the house. Luke G of Luke G's Field Review. What's up, Luke?
What up, though, man? I am so ready for this, man. I feel like I was on probation for a week and they let me out on work release.
I needed the break, man.
Yeah. Listen.
Tell them how you feel.
Man, listen, this is one of the things where you know how they say the game needs us, man. This is what we need right here, man. This is right here is therapeutic. They look at me on this work release. I still can't stream. I don't understand life right now.
No, like I said, you got 90 days, bro. I told you.
I mean, listen, if they put me on a 90-day break, that means I don't get to stream until August, if I'm not mistaken. I think I might be right about that, you know. Or no,
every person I know that has had this happen to them has been out for 90 days.
Hey, first off, guys, we also got to give a shout out. Hey, Luke G, you want to give a shout out to the people in the chat on today?
Yeah, let's get it, man. Listen, let's see what we got going on up in this chat, ladies and gentlemen. All right, people, let's go and get this roll call. We got D Williams in the building. We got D-Town, Blue and Silver Phantom. We got Peace and Quiet. We got Detroit Drew. Mars is Landon, who says, I make the ground shake when I land. That's what's up. We got Chris Cashball in the building. We got Sip Trot in the building. We got Dre Burns. We got Bob Money. Hey, if your name ain't with money, you got to be about something special, all right? You got Top Tier in the building, William Sams, Fred Jackson, Joseph Murdoch, and then we got Tonal Voice. We got Buffed Up. We got Detroit's Legend Sportscast. What up, though?
What's up, baby?
Will Kennedy Jr. content coming soon. Hey, that's what's up. Will, I got to hit you up. We got to talk about some stuff. That's going to be what's up. All right. We got John Sparks. We got K-Web. And with that being said, we got 29 people, 12 thumbs up. Let's go ahead and get this thing rocking, people, because we about to have a good one.
All right, what's up, guys? Let's get them likes up and let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys. We haven't been with the people for a week. Everybody got an opportunity to take a break, be able to chill with their family, do the things that they need to do. And you know what? Lions football is the topic on today. And we're going to do that. You know, we still aim to give you that positive media and unbiased type of attitude that we like to carry on DSA. And the first question is for my main man, Luke G. Luke G, what do you think? What do you think about the OTAs so far? You know, because I know a lot of people have their various opinions about the OTAs and how they feel about the OTAs. So you got any intake on that?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Well, hold on, wait. Before we jump into it, we got to go ahead and get that shout out. You see that right there? We got Nicholas Aaron who dropped that 2-dub up in there. He says, "Don't forget, I'm in the building." What up, guys? What up, though, Nick? My bad, bro.
Who's good, Nick?
My bad. Appreciate you dropping that 2-dub up in there. Here's the thing.
Good, Nick.
Okay, in detail, so we got to recharge them batteries. Let me just say this first, people. No, I'm serious. Let me just say this. The thing is, you know, when that week we had off, man, for many people who got kids or who got family members, they will know that this time all the way till June is generally graduation and prime season.
Yeah, it is.
And many of us are you know, held to a standard to make sure that we're doing certain things. And so that's what we've been doing, and that's what's up. So in terms of the OTAs, let's start off with the things that jumped out to me. Can we please relax with this who's not there and who's there at OTA stuff, people?
What do you mean by that, Luke?
I mean, it seems to be to me that the media and some of the fan base is so concerned with who's at and who is not at OTAs. This is not mandatory training camp, people.
Right.
And there's a lot of good things that I saw at OTAs. Mm-hmm. And I want to focus on those. But, you know, I know y'all going to want to talk about, well, why Slade not there? Yeah. Because they're not implementing a new defensive scheme. Right. He's not needed to be there. Okay. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, the purpose of the OTAs is to give the rookies a chance to mingle with the veterans, get their practice habits down, and build the conglomerate with the team. If somebody on offense wasn't there, I would have a problem with it because we are implementing a new offensive scheme.
Yeah, we are.
If Darius Slay or Snacks is not there, just relax. So we're gonna get into it. But for me right now, I just wanted to address that. And Joseph Murdoch says Snacks got pissed at the media with the BS. I feel him because it's ridiculous. I feel him on that. It's ridiculous. And to me, just to point out the good, let's start off with what I did see in the OTAs. The biggest thing that I saw, the two biggest things that I saw in the OTAs are one was a wish list thing that I was hoping that they did, and the other was something that I knew that they were going to do. The wish list thing that I wanted was move Frank Ragnow to center. I kept saying that for months. He needs to go to center because Graham Glasgow is not getting it done for me. You know, I get tired of watching teams, you know, collapse the middle of the offensive line, and I'm like, Graham, you got to move somebody. So in OTAs, they were using Frank Ragnow where at center. I mean, that itself isn't important if you ask him.
And Frank has always been a center too, hasn't he?
Well, he's played multiple positions, but what happened was in college they had I think it was like 4 games where they needed him to play guard, and he did, you know, fairly okay. But when he came into the league, they automatically put him at guard, which I thought was strange. But I understood why they was doing it because it was a learning curve to show you, look, this is what you're going to be dealing with, and before you snapping the ball and doing all this other stuff, this is where you need to be. So for me, I think Ragnow playing center, it's a huge move for us, and it points further to my belief that we're running that ball. But we'll get into that later. Now, the second thing that I saw, which I spoke on, which was they're going to run a lot of big sets on the goal line. And what happened at OTA? They came out in sets with 4 tight ends.
They're not playing around.
4 tight end sets in OTAs on the goal line.
That sound like they trying to punch the ball in the end zone, man.
You know, and that's the thing. That's the thing. Nobody understands that. And to me, when you look at those big sets with the 4 tight ends, I've told somebody it's going to be a whole lot of jump ball. It's hard to try to cover 6'7", 6'6", 6'5", 6'5". That's a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Those are some big bodies, man.
That's my thoughts on it, man. You know, I get more into it. I'm just excited to be back. So you know, passing on the J Mo or Trav for a minute, man. Just a little bit of
what's up, J Mo? So what is your take on the OTAs? What do you feel about the OTAs?
Well, as I said in my last video where I talked about the OTAs, Ragnow moving to center is the greatest news of the entire offseason. Not Trey Flowers, not Daryl Bevel, not TJ Hawkinson. It's Ragnow moving to center. I mean, we ain't had a center, and I don't know if the Lions ever really had an all-pro level center. Yeah, and that's exactly what I think. And I'm not saying they never have. I'm just saying in the last 20 years, and that's exactly what I think Ragnow is.
Somebody to plug that middle up.
Yeah, I'm so happy that he's at center. I mean, it just lets me know the Lions are they're doing the right thing. And then Tease Tabor, out there getting interceptions and whatnot.
Yeah, I know. And it's funny that you talk about that, Jay, because Tease Tabor, I know, is one of the guys you've been rooting for. A lot of us probably have been.
I've been telling y'all, man, you don't write him off so early. Give him an actual chance.
Right. Not trying to write the guy off. Not trying to write him off.
You read him off already. Stop it.
No. Check me out. Not trying to write the guy off, but just saying, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to bring it.
I'm of that same mindset too. I'm not giving anybody a pass, but I'm like, you know, he switched defenses. He didn't have the best season. Let's see what he can do. You know, the next year corners. You know, they take a while to develop. You know, and then one main thing I remember when we got
his third year, right?
You said what?
He's in his third year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, his first to me is really his second year because his first year he literally played in like 1 game.
Yeah, he didn't even test
because apparently Nevin Lawson is the greatest cornerback ever. So we had to start him for
He's the
15
greatest
games.
quarterback that never got an interception. Never,
Right.
ever.
Yeah, his first season, he only played in one game.
Hey, fellas, really quick, pardon my interruption, and I do apologize. I just wanted to let everybody know that today is Micro Mike's birthday, so he is in the chat, just stopping in before he go to sleep. Can we please give him a birthday shout out to Micro Mike, who is growing really well.
Definitely shout out to Micro Mike on his beat.
Shout out to Micro Mike.
I loving what you're doing over there. I just wanted to put that out there, and y'all can go ahead and
Mike, we loving the hype videos over here, man. Keep doing your thing, and that's the reason why I love the DSA, because everybody comes with a different perspective, and everybody brings the Lions in their own type of fashion, in their own type of way, and that makes everything really, really good.
Happy birthday, Micro Mike.
Right. Definitely.
He had to stick that in there.
So it's good to see T Saber, and a lot of people want to Slay at OTAs, but if Slay was at OTAs, then we don't see T Saber get 2 interceptions because he wouldn't been on the first team. So that's a small blessing in disguise. And another thing, when we drafted Jelani Tavai, I told all my subscribers, I told people, this guy's the real deal. He's a perfect defensive fit. Jelani Tavai is looking smooth out there. He got himself 2 interceptions at OTAs. Looking real natural out there. So those are my biggest takeaways. And that set that Luke was talking about, I think it was more than 4 tight ends. I think every receiving threat was a tight end. It wasn't no wide receiver.
So they stacking the line. They stacking the line, man. They stacking.
There wasn't no wide receiver. They was just like, we gonna go with 6 tight ends. Go ahead. They scored too though. Defense didn't know what to do.
Right.
People don't realize
But and TJ Hawkinson silencing all the doubters. When I say doubters, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the media who was down TJ Hawkinson. All I heard, TJ Hawkinson, he's looking very good out there. Wow. Yeah, of course. That's
they knew he was going to look good. They just didn't want him to get drafted to the Lions.
Exactly, man. They was talking about TJ Hawkinson looking good so much. I'm like, this is what I expected, but yeah.
Well, listen. No, what I was saying was that big set was important because there are certain things, and I don't think people realize this. There are certain agreements that the media have to sign, like non-disclosures with NFL teams, that says if we allow you to OTAs, you can only discuss this, and this. And so one of the things that ended up happening in their own highlight video, I happened to notice that set, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what was that?"
You're like, "Hey, where y'all get this from?"
Somebody put that in there by accident and thought it was going to be glanced over, but Luke got that eye for it. You feel me? And again, let's just be honest here, because I don't want to start the hype train just yet because of OTAs, because I do think that Detroit Legend Sportscast, which is AKA Willie Kennedy Jr., who makes a very good point, they don't have on pads. And so,
they don't have on pads, right?
But nonetheless, I think that the big sets, in my opinion, it lets you know that it's going to be a lot of problems in terms of stopping the run and stopping the pass, especially on the goal line. And that's something we've been weak at for a while, and I think that was the most important part of it. That's all my point was.
Before we get to Travis, I have to respond to this. Buffed Up says 3 tight ends in first 11 years, only the Lions done it. Guess what else the Lions did? 3 wide receivers in the first round, and guess who the third receiver was?
Calvin Johnson.
And guess who the third tight end is?
TJ Hawkinson.
Okay, you're going to learn better than we can tell you. Go ahead, Trent.
I'm better in threes, baby. Yeah.
Big tight end, first round in 11 years, only the Lions done it. I don't know if that's a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm just saying we did the same thing with wide receivers and ended up with Megatron. So
but I just look at it, and I don't know if taking 3 tight ends is a bad thing. I can make the same argument for a number of other positions on other teams, like who takes 3 linemen or who takes 3 linebackers, 3 corners. I know
that's something that Dallas likes to do. They like to take a lot of offensive linemen. They will draft a lot of offensive linemen.
It kind of worked out for them though.
It does.
Hey, listen, Kevin Webb, man, he said anybody making bets this year or Lions, huge payouts, Lions taking the division. I think so too. I think they win in the division.
I mean, I don't gamble anymore, but I'm gonna tell you one game I will bet on. I'm gonna bet on us beating the Packers.
Joseph Murdoch says,
"How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys?"
He said, "Man, listen, don't get me started on Cowboys, man. I know Derek listened, and me and Derek had a nice conversation about that, but I don't even get started on the Cowboys." But Joseph Murdoch says, "Luke, do you think that Bevel has put his stamp on this team with moving Rags to center?" No, I think the move was necessary, but his stamp is going to be put on his team over a period of time. The one thing about him is he gets the team offensively to a certain point, and then at that point you got to kind of worry about Darrell Bevel. So the point of him is to get the offense to a certain point where they can be established enough to be a threat. So I'm not going to say
and I'm not going to say that it was necessarily Darrell Bevel's idea to move Ragnar to center. That very well probably was Matt Patricia. So
that probably was Matt. Like, hey, we got to make sure this line is shored up this year because we want Matthew Stafford to look the best that he possibly can this season.
Yeah, 45 sacks is not
41 sacks, I think.
Oh, 41 sacks. Yeah, 40. Well,
still 40
anything
with
is not good for a quarterback.
With 40 on it is not good.
Right. Unless it's touchdowns.
Exactly. I would love to see him get 41 touchdowns again.
Right.
Now, I see that there's a question about Khalil Hodge. I have been watching the Khalil Hodge thing, and I have yet to hear anything. I think he's staying mum on it because there hasn't been no announcement or anything like that. I don't know what's going on with it.
Still no noise. Still no noise on.
I still don't see no noise or any static on it. But FYI, people, we have 60 people in the chat. We only got 27 thumbs up, or AKA likes. Let's get those likes up, people. I know we can do it. And make it happen.
Let's get them likes up, everybody.
Kevin Brown said, "What's up, Roundtable? What's up, Kevin Brown?
Hey, what's up, Kevin
Brown?
Stafford for MVP. Hey, with a run game, don't be surprised.
Right.
All right, Trav, where you at, man?
I'm right here.
Right here. Yeah, he ready. He ready. So, Trav, when you're looking at the OTAs, man, what is your perspective on the OTAs? What do you get out of it when you see it?
I mean, I think the key thing here is, everybody getting used to each other, but the absolute most important is you haven't heard nothing negative, like as far as injuries happening, and I think that's the key out of this time.
That's
and knock on hardwood for that.
Key. Because a lot of people do get hurt.
And because this is the time of year, I want to say even when Kerry Hyder went down, and that hurt us, and then thankfully we had.
Hyder went down in a preseason game.
Was it a preseason game?
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah. It was that open training camp at Ford Field. That's what it was. Man. It was but it was during training camp, so I do stand corrected.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead, Luke.
I meant to bring this up earlier, right? Because I thought about this, right? So I saw this a few weeks back, and I've been following it, right? The Detroit Lions are making a hard, and I mean a hard push for the NFL draft to be here. They have reportedly said that they are willing to upgrade their stadium however they see fit. They have other companies surrounding the stadium who is prepared to set things up to create the experience. They are trying to bring the draft here, people. Thoughts, people? Talk to me. What is your thoughts on the draft being done here in Detroit? And what does that mean for you in terms of, because for me, that's like, I'm gonna be able to just sit there, take notes, get the feel of the crowd, see who yelling, who not yelling, figure out what the strength was, and we're gonna find out what the real fans look like. But for you guys, we're gonna start with Trav. What is your thoughts on that, man?
Hey, I'll be outside at in Allen Park waiting.
We wouldn't be
because I'm most definitely gonna be there, Detroit, and all in my Detroit gear. And if my work is listening to me, I will be taking that time off.
Man, hey, he let y'all know already. Time is being taken off.
Right.
I think it would be a wonderful experience because it's been a few things sports wise that's happened downtown that's been like a really big deal for me in my life. Like I remember when the Pistons won the championship. That and when we had the Super Bowl here, I mean, I had so much fun that day. The Super Bowl day. I mean, they had rides. They had, of course, I was young. They had rides. They had everything. I mean, and you know, this is now in 2019, and we already having so many festivals that people from other states come to just to come here because the festivals are only here. You have the drive here, man. That's gonna be a city changing experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely think if the draft is in Detroit, it's gonna be a wonderful experience for everybody because you know a lot of fans will get that opportunity to see something that they have never. I don't think the draft has ever been in Detroit, has it?
No, I mean they're talking about putting a TV on the outside of the stadium for people who can't get in the building. They're gonna do
whatever they need to do.
Listen, I got a story. All right,
Lord, look at the story, guys.
J-Mo brought up
hey, Luke. I hope it ain't a woman this time, man.
No woman this story. I didn't get Okay. Shout out to all the women out there who can knock you out. Much respect and love, but no. So they had the Super Bowl here, and the mayor Kwame Kilpatrick at the time decided to create something in Taylor called the Gateway to Detroit. And it's this blue bridge. And I remember thinking, why are they doing this bridge? And he comes out and says, oh, if you look up, there's football ovals and the trucks are the linemen, the cars are the running backs, right? Yeah. And I said, oh, okay, that's odd. That's not in Detroit, but okay, cool, right? And then as I'm sitting up there, here's where the story gets interesting. I'm driving to work, right? And as I'm driving to work, they're building this bridge. And I don't know what happened. But they had the little construction zone. The next thing I know, I hear my tires blow out, all 4 tires, right? Listen, as all 4 tires blow out, I'm sitting there saying to myself, oh man, what in the world is going on with this crap? Okay, what this is, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there and I realize I don't get something on this dumb construction zone. As soon as they said that, people, this is the exact thing that came across the news on the radio while I'm sitting up here mad that my tires blew. Kwame Kilpatrick is being investigated for laundering money. What? Wait a minute. Now you may be wondering, you may be wondering, Luke, what does this got to do with anything? I'm finna bring it home right here.
Luke.
I'm finna bring it home right here. This what this got to do to it. As they say this, I'm not making this up. I literally see this man with a barrage of cars driving by the construction zone, and I swear, like in a real movie, it slowed down as I'm looking at this man. Drive by slow as crap with his barrage of cars and stuff, looking to see how the construction is going. Meanwhile, I'm on the side of the street, all messed up, right? And I'm sitting up here thinking, okay, I'm all for this Super Bowl. I'm all good for it. I had to sell some things and give up my money and my Super Bowl tickets. Yeah. To get my car tires fixed, all because he wanted to waste funds on this stupid bridge. So to you,
man,
I had to give up the Super Bowl. And one more thing, it's a lot of Lions fans, not even just around the world. Yeah, I know Lions fans in London. You know, I know Lions fans everywhere. So if it comes in Detroit, it's going to be a lot of Lions fans around the country, around the world that's going to come to the city.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be awesome, man, to be able to have that atmosphere of being able to.
Be huge for the city. I think that is something that many people may not know and may not get. But I just want to share that story. And I don't want to tell y'all too many.
Hey, Luke, want to share his hate for Kwame Kilpatrick.
Hey, Luke, somebody in the comment section said Luke got a story to tell like Biggie, Dre Barnes.
No, for real, Buff. Though, why you gotta do that, man?
Bro, I got stories that you would never guess is true. And it's one of the things where I totally get it. So now here go the Gridiron Blitz. Saying Trav, you filling in for me, you better rap. Leave Trav alone, okay?
Leave him alone, D. Leave him alone, man.
Hey, shout out to Gridiron.
Melvin Drew said we didn't have Gridiron Blitz. Melvin Drew said we didn't have half of the venues downtown when the Super Bowl was hosted. Well, that's the point I was making, because we got all of these. I mean, it's a festival every week downtown, and there's plenty of people that's not from here. It's a lot to do in the city now compared to back then. Like I forgot which the Tech Fest, but like the Tech Fest for the entire country is in Detroit. So it's a lot more to do. And a lot of people don't know that it's a lot to do here.
Yeah.
You know, at least during the summertime.
Downtown really had and you really got to say within the last couple of years, downtown has really had a total makeover almost. You know what I mean? It's a lot of restaurants down there now, and it's a lot of things. And that's good, man, that they're being able to get that type of.
You wouldn't believe the Renson is an actual landmark to people not from here. They actually think that's something special.
And we look at it like
that's the Renson. Come on, they're like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Look at this.
They might be listening to him right now. Leave them alone. Leave those people alone. If they think it's listen, I'm gonna do a shameless plug here, people, because I believe in promotion. All right. If I had the sad music, I would play it. Luke G has been on YouTube actively, I want to say 4 months.
4 months.
4 months. I've been on here 4 months, and in 4 months, I am 3 away from 1,000. If you have not,
hey, y'all, let's give Luke a big hand clap, baby.
Hey, let's get him that 3 subs, man. He deserves it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
I have not dropped any videos because I really do research. In the next few videos I'm going to drop, it's going to be research laced. I don't believe in just dropping trash. I believe in being able to drop research. So if you have not subscribed to Luke G's Fear Review, I'm going to type something in the chat. Feel free to look me up. And I promise you will not be disappointed. Okay?
Well, since Luke out here putting everybody to shame, you know, I'm at 496, so I need 4 for 500. My little old channel.
My
Luke out here like, oh yeah, 4 months. I'm at a K. This how we do. I'm struggling to get to 500, bro.
I'm struggling.
Hey, I'm 4 away from 100.
Hey, you know, we all need 4 subscribers today so we can get to 100, 500, and 1,000.
That's what I need. I need 3. I need 2. I take that back. I need 2. I appreciate it. And Buffalo says it's quality over quantity. Yes, sir. I do believe in putting out the best info possible. That's fair. That's easy to follow. And when people let me tell y'all something. Okay. Let me tell y'all what happened to me a couple of days ago. Somebody came on one of my videos that I made months ago about linebacker Gary Johnson, right? Yeah. And what he did was he said, Luke, you don't know anything about schemes or blocking assignments, and you displayed that in this video. And I said, well, what are you talking about? And he said there was this one play where you was getting on the linebacker for, you was getting on the linebacker for not coming down the line when his job was to read the quarterback on the read play option. I said, oh, okay. I said, so let me ask you a question. He said, yeah. I said, what else did I say in that video? Because it was 25 minutes long that you disagreed with. Oh, that was just it. So let me get this straight. Yeah. You agreed with 99% of what I said, but you mad about the one thing that you think I got wrong. He says, well, it's not that. It's just that if you're going to say something about a blocking assignment, you should make sure you know the information is right. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. What is it that you think is wrong in the blocking assignment? He says to me, well, you had a guy blocked down, but he got to read the quarterback. I said, okay, did the quarterback hand the ball to the running back? He said, yeah, he did. I said, did the linebacker give chase? He said, no, he didn't. What did I get wrong?
Yeah.
Right? What did I get wrong? He didn't do his job. Okay? He didn't do his job. And if he's not going to do his job, then at the end of the day, I'm not wrong. And here's the thing, people. I do not mind y'all coming on my channel telling me I'm wrong. You better be prepared to prove and support your response.
For real.
You better come with the facts, baby.
I low-key feel like people are afraid to comment on my channel because I give them all the smoke, man. Don't come on my channel, man. You don't want them problems. You don't want 0 problems, big fella.
And to me, it's just one of the things where I just want to put this out there. If you ever see a video that you think I'm wrong or I'm crazy on, please tell me. But what I think you'll find is that before I speak, I think really, really long and hard. And like I said, I make sure I did the research. So if a person don't agree, disagree, like it, indifferent, I totally understand. That's what this forum is for. So it is what it is. Now wait a minute. Melvin Drew says
No, man.
Luke gonna be the uncle with that cigarette in his mouth, telling stories to the young dogs at the barbecue. Yes.
No, Luke gonna be, I remember back in the day, back in the YouTube days when I was starting my channel. 4 months I got the 1K. And we was just on the ground out here. See, this back when we was nobodies, not the big.
I'm just saying, people. But again, I'm just saying. But to get back to football, man, listen. Let's talk about this really quick because I think this is also an important factor on top of the importance of NFL. The NFL players director comes out and says that in 2021, he's telling agents to be prepared to have a work stoppage. And I have an interesting take on it, but I'd rather hear y'all's first before I give my take because for me, this is not news.
Hold up a second.
Before we get there, I want to shout out fellow DVE member Craig Jackman. I see you in the building. What's good, man?
What's up, Craig?
What's up, Craig? Okay. Hey, I got real quick though. We got 45 likes and 67 people watching. Can we please get them likes up?
Talk to them.
Get them likes up, people. Let's get them likes up.
Talk to them. I am still away. I am still 2 away from that 1,000. I got to come up with a sweet video for that. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I can't go live. I mean,
hey, it's coming on my
all you gotta do is drop a hot take video like some other people out here, man. Just drop a hot take video.
Yeah, you just gotta put out a promo
about the what the guy, the director, players association director said. All I'm saying is, if football is going, it's a problem. If it's not, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Trev, your thoughts, man.
Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm reading something real quick on.
Okay,
never mind. Great, I already took care of it.
If Luke is the uncle, if Luke is the uncle who giving stories, then Trav is the grandfather who needs to make sure that the story is right. Hold on, back in my day, we read it.
He's the stenographer. He's the guy.
Well, why you do that? I'm gonna read this question, man. Why you doing your research? Melvin Drew says, "What do y'all think is a realistic come up for Fulgham, and do y'all think his development spells trouble for Marvin?" I would say Marvin Jones was gonna be out the door regardless, just because of contract situations, and I just don't think he's a permanent receiver on this team. And Travis Fulgham,
what?
Just get out there and be productive. If you first of all, you got to be able to good enough to get on the field and just get out there and be productive. I'm not gonna say I expect this and that from him. He's a 6th-round draft pick.
Yeah,
just be productive. That's all you got to do.
J-Mo.
And I believe in him, and I do think he can take Marvin Jones' spot eventually. But he has to prove it on the field first.
But repeat it again. Repeat what you said one more time.
He has to prove it on the field first.
No, the part about you said that Marvin Jones' contract, he's going to be out. Is that what you said?
No, I said I don't think he was in our long-term plans from the beginning.
Yeah, it was. I think it was more of a short-term situation going on with him, not having him forever. Forever.
I'm a bite. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna hook on this.
Yeah, because if not, they wouldn't have drafted two receivers or a couple receivers.
No, that's not true. Here's the thing: y'all got to understand something. He was given I believe a 5-year deal, and that 5-year deal is going to run its course. You get somebody a 5-year deal; they're long term. The issue with Marvin Jones is that, and the reason why they're taking the other receivers like Fulgham is because they want to be prepared and set for the coming years when his contract does expire. Now,
exactly. So you just answered our question, then, Luke.
Right. That's why I said
because that's what we're saying.
Now,
right. I just think they're gonna let his contract run its course unless he has a ridiculous season.
Now, DeAnthony,
a couple seasons.
What can we get for Marvin Jones? Nothing this year. Nothing. That the contract is not necessarily the biggest problem, but I think what he do. We have very limited teams who wants his services. That's just my opinion. Buffed Up said the Lions are thin at wide receiver. Buffed Up, you and Chris Sims are crazy. They're not thin at receiver. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're not thin at receiver.
They may not be the big names guys and stuff like that, but for the most part, they have a nice little solid receiver core in depth. I mean, and besides, even let's say I was to go with you and say that they are thin at receiver, I don't care. They need to be running the ball. I'm tired of us being first. And we've had a top 5 passing attack a number of years under Stafford. It's just nowhere.
You got to realize the offense is system based. I was literally today watching some of our games from last year. Bruce Ellington was making all these plays, and every time he made a play, I'm like, "Who is this dude? I don't know you. Why are you making plays?"
He was out there doing
it. Who is Bruce Ellington? You don't know, but he was out there catching. So the Lions are about building a system for the receivers and for the defense, so they can just plug and play a lot of guys.
Yeah. Now, D-Town says, Luke, when are they going to release Theo Reddick? I am waiting. So here's the thing with Theo Reddick, people. You have to understand that we still have to go through a training camp, and injuries are a real reality. It's going to happen to somebody. We're going to pray to God that it doesn't happen to the people that we want starting on the team. But you're not going to see him get released until training camp or after training camp when it's time to cut the team down to the 53-man roster.
I was about to say preseason. He can still be there
to the 53.
They would have cut him sooner. But I think what they're trying to do is make sure that they have somebody who they already know is under contract, available to them in case of an injury. So with that regard, I don't see him getting cut anytime soon. But he is still going to get cut. I have no doubt that he's going to get cut unless he decides to take a huge pay cut, and by huge, I think he might want to go and take his services elsewhere. So that's what I think.
Because I know he's set to get almost 3-4 million. So what if he take a pay cut and drop down to like 1.5 or something like that, or 2?
Now Buffed Up says if Jones. I'm sorry. Before I answer Buffed Up question, say that one more time, TA.
What if he takes that pay cut and he said I'll take the pay cut, and they drop him down to like 1.5 or 2? You think that would keep him on the team?
Yes, just for this season. Because what would now happen is I will still have a receiving threat with a running threat out the backfield. So yeah, I think they'll still keep him if he take that lower pay cut. But if he don't, I think the curtains is written up on him.
I think a lot of
But do you actually think he would take that pay cut?
Well, like I said, I think that he ain't gonna have no choice if he want to play. I mean, where else is he going to go and get a chance to play? Like,
I just feel like it's always some dumb team that's going to take him. The Raiders might end up picking him up.
Or the Dolphins or somebody.
I mean, because we don't think highly of Theo Reddick, but a lot of other people do.
So it's 2 questions I want to address. Buffed Up says Jones get hurt, then who top 2? Amendola ain't no outside receiver. You are absolutely right. He does not have to be the outside receiver. You have many options that you can play around with, from Travis Fulgham all the way to putting in, what's his name, Durham. I mean, you have some people that you put there that keep the guy in the slot. And Duham. Whatever his name. I forgot his name. But you have some options where you can put him there, and then you can also turn around and say, okay, I can come out in a more big set, because that's the same thing that happened to New England when they lost what's my man, Gordon. When they lost Gordon, they came out with a tight end as one of the outside receivers and their best receiver out there. So there's a lot of ways you can play around with it. But I think the idea is to keep the middle of the field where it needs to be. Now, Admon Washington says excuses for Stafford this season, O-line. No, I think the excuse for Stafford would be if he's lacking in execution.
Yeah, it ain't no more excuses for Stafford.
No, I mean, right. If he doesn't execute,
I'm about to say, hold up now. That O-line crumble.
But if the O-line crumble, you got to still call a spade a spade. But I think with Wagner going to center, you will see a little bit of an improvement there. Ernest Thomas says, left unlocked Luke, excuse our old fan base. We've been too used to the name chasing that everyone thinks we need the big names to win. Ernest, you get the comment of the day. You get the comment of the day because
I was just talking about Bruce Ellington. Don't none of y'all know who that is, but he was balling. He was out there balling.
Okay, hold on. Joseph Murdoch said, I truly believe Amendola has a big season with Stafford. So what do you think? What you guys think about that? You think that is going to come to fruition?
Well, if you hear what's happening from OTAs, Stafford and Amendola have been connecting on a lot of third downs. I'm not expecting some huge season, but he might be the security blanket.
Yeah, because
kind of like what Antoine Bolden was.
I won't go that far touchdown wise, but
not touchdown wise, but as far as getting the first down.
Right. I think he would get a lot of plus first downs for us, honestly.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now. That one of the things that people are not gonna understand when it comes to the Lions offense, and we might as well jump into it because Darrell Bevel talked about these different things that he wants to do in terms of saying that we're gonna always pound this ball, we're gonna run this ball, but he also talked about a few other things, and to me, what I look at in terms of the season, and how the offense is going to be set up, the tight end packages are going to be really hard on people because you don't know if these guys are blocking or are they going out for routes. And to me, that in and of itself creates a problem already for the teams alone in the division. And that's where we should.
So basically, Luke, you're saying that the team, like a lot of teams used to be able to predict the Lions, what they're going to do on offense. Now with this new system being implemented, they will not be able to figure out what the Lions is doing as easily because, you don't know if we're going out with the receivers. You don't know with the tight ends, you don't know what they're going to be doing, how we're going to utilize them.
Well, you just another thing is Kerryon Johnson is a nightmare. So that's the real reason why they're not going to know what we're going to do because Kerryon going to be on the field. They not gonna know what to do. Like I said, he's a complete nightmare. I've been watching Lions game. I mean, Kerryon was doing stuff that had me saying, "Wow!" And I'm just reviewing the tapes. He's on the field. You're not gonna know what to do. And it's really because if we had a trash running back, it wouldn't be nearly as effective.
Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest thing that many people may be missing is, even if they come out with Theo Reddick this year, you're going to have to pay attention to the run because no more are the days where Theo Reddick's out there is a pass. They're going to force him to run, and they're going to give him a chance to keep his spot on this team in preseason. Mark my words, he's going to get a lot of playing time. If you see Theo Reddick starting week 1 of preseason, go ahead and put the hood over his head because his lights out for him. Okay. I promise.
Man, why I want to put a hood on his head, Luke?
He don't want to see what's coming. It's better that way. Trust me. He don't want to see the chop coming. Okay?
Hey, I think the preseason, we're going to get a lot of looks. Not so many looks at Kerryon, but it's going to be more so the other guys that's trying to crack the rotation, like Ty Johnson and Zenner and Theo. Definitely, those three right there definitely going to be running the ball.
Now, Sam Formosa, I hope I said that right. He says, look for Detroit to pick up a receiver when the other teams make cuts. And that's why I think I said that, like a month ago when I was I did a video saying that they're going to try to go into the season with at least about $40 million in cap space so they can keep making moves. And I also talked about them, being able to wait it out to see who makes practice squad, who gets cut, and who can be added to the team. The process does not stop because the draft is over, and I think that's the difference in this Lions team versus the other ones.
They still looking for guys. Jermaine Kearse, we worked him out or whatever, so they still looking for guys.
Now, me personally, I want to go with the youth movement. I'd rather go with the youth, even though if I can get a veteran that's pretty decent, that's not too old, that's cool. But I just want to go with the youth movement because we want to get younger, man. We want to get younger out there on the field. We don't have all these older guys out there that's been, injury riddled and stuff like that.
Well, I don't think we. Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Trav, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
I'm just making sure you still got a heartbeat because I'm now starting to worry about you now. You ain't
man, Trav, man, you gotta jump in.
I'm trying.
Trav said, "I'm trying, y'all."
Hey man,
y'all boys don't come up for air.
Oh wait. Gridiron Bliss just broke some news. Luke G just hit 1,000 subs. Congrats, Luke.
Thank you so much. Now
welcome to the 1K club, baby.
I did a sick video. I got to come up with something.
Hey, Luke.
Congrats.
Appreciate it, man.
Congrats for real.
Now listen,
Luke,
let me say this.
Luke, hold on. I gotta say this, guys. Hold on, Luke. You get a year supply of vitamin water and bananas.
Hey,
thank you for making it to the 1K club.
Don't do me like it now.
Bananas and vitamin water, man.
Listen, man. It's two reasons why I'm on the YouTube doing it. One, I got tired of the negative narratives and the information that was being put out there. And
two,
it took one person to respond to a comment, and that person was Derek. When Derek responded to my comment, and he was on my head, he's like, "Hey, you got to get a channel." And I'm like, "Yo, don't got time, got kids. It's a lot of them too. So don't have the time for this. I work. It's a lot of work out here in these streets. And he like, no, I'm telling you, what you put in that comment, was, man, he like, I ain't never seen that type of analytical. You got to do this. I said, nah, I'm gonna sit over here. I'll keep watching. You do your thing. He said, nah, I'm gonna bring you on. He brings me on. We talk it out. And he kept hyping it up. I didn't even have a channel up. I didn't have a name. I didn't have a photo. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know what microphone to get. He got all that information for me. I'm telling you, he got all that information for me. And with that information that he got for me, Luke was on the YouTube. So shout out and appreciation.
It's a step. Hey, Luke, let us do the bragging on you, bro.
And to the 1,000 subscribers, man, that's crazy. I cannot believe that I hit that number in 4 months.
That's what I want to say. Being able to hit 1K in 4 months, man, that's awesome because a lot of guys, struggle to hit that 1K. So definitely, Luke, man, shouts out to you for being able to do that and being able to put the hashtag facts out there. Everybody knows that they always looking for Luke G, free Luke G. So definitely, man.
They got me.
I'm laughing at the comments, man. Somebody said sign Martavis Bryant, and somebody said weed is legal in Michigan. That's not a good idea.
It's funny they say that because the NFL.
And shout out General G Berry, man. General G Berry in the chat was good. Shout out. He said he was your second sub, Luke.
Hey, listen, General G Berry was my second sub. I actually remember the first 5. And it's crazy. I kind of remember the first 5, but James Willis says I was around 200. Man, listen, it's crazy that I couldn't believe it. But in terms of that weed thing, that is one of the issues with the NFL Player Association. They're saying that players don't want painkillers and shots for pain; they want marijuana, and the NFL is trying to say no. So that's one of the things on the table. So look for marijuana to no longer be a banned substance, especially in states where it's legal, and they're going to probably put a rule in place that said that as long as you have not smoked it within, say, 24 to 48 hours, you'll be fine. But man, 1,000 subs again, appreciated people, all the people who's here. The minute I get my live stream back, it's going down. I got to make a nice video of thank yous and appreciations, and man, I am truly humble. I really am, and I got so much more coming. I've been working on this one video that might have to be a 2-part because I kind of went deep into it and got irritated the more I thought about it. And because Chris Sims did it to me, he made it. But man, Jay Thur says, Luke G, now that you have hit 1,000, what are you going to do now? I'm going to Disney World.
Luke G, you have one.
Absolutely, man. I'm going to Disney World.
You supply of bananas and vitamin water.
Hey, man, listen, it's one of them things, man. But I don't want to make it about me right now. I do appreciate it. I'm going to do a video to thank y'all the best I can, and I got to do a giveaway. I've been thinking long and hard about these giveaways, and I got something planned that's going to be nice. Yeah. So truly appreciate it. But man, in terms of the work stoppage, people, Trav, what are your thoughts on if they shut football down in 2021?
Man, I am gonna be sad. But
not sad.
I will. I'm gonna be sad. But I mean, I will say this: I do think that medical marijuana for the player should be legal. Why? Because without the what's that? The opioids?
Yeah.
Without that, I mean, a lot of people get messed up in the game because of that. So now you're getting players, able to nurse their wounds,
while
still being able to keep a healthy body to go out there and perform at a high level for all these billion-dollar owners and things like that.
Okay.
So I think the quality of football would be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But as a fan, But as a fan, I would be sad.
Hey, well, let me ask you this. Because I think Travis hitting on something in terms of the football. But let me ask you this: is it news for you though?
I mean, not really, because there's so many different like work stoppage that goes on. I mean, what was that? 2011 was the last one, and then there was the replacement season, and then there was the shortened season also, and it's like, it happens, but I mean, they're talking about a full year, a full year, like, man,
that's crazy. Right?
I mean, that's
hold on. I want to read somebody's comment. They said, Dat 3456W says all drugs should be legalized. What you think about that?
Pause.
I don't think all drugs need to be legalized.
No, not all drugs.
No, but
there's people out here that's crazy on drugs.
That's him being facetious. He's been.
Yeah, I know he's being funny. He's being sarcastic.
But the thing,
I was about to say, D-Town said, they're already using it. I remember I was watching some random football show. There was a lot of ex-players. They like, I used to smoke every game day.
Oh yeah.
They use it already.
Yeah. What happened to
hold up a second. Hold up 1 second, guys. What's up with that, Derek? I'm fired.
Man, listen,
and it's Donald Trump voice.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Who gets fired on their day off though? He on his day off firing people.
Man, Derek, man, you gotta chill. You're not representing, man.
He fired people on their day off.
Hey, we all
only
love
the
you,
ones
Derek.
that representing is in here.
I can tell you this.
Fired.
I can tell you this right here. Here's my thoughts on this. This is not news. Okay. This is not news. The NFL has had multiple stoppages before, and it hasn't halted anything. Excuse me. It hasn't halted anything. And the truth is this is nothing more than a scare tactic. If any of you have ever worked at a union job, you know that we the king of bluff. We will bluff. I'm not showing.
Hold on, Luke. I gotta mess with you a little bit. What if it's real? What if it ain't a scare tactic? This is really gonna go down.
Okay. Well, let's play devil's advocate and say, let's say, what if it's real?
What if this is real?
I'm trying to figure out how to say this the most delicate way possible.
Come on, Luke.
What billionaire is about to play around in this game and let that money just keep going? Even if it is real, it's not going to be a year long. They're not going to let the whole season go. They will bring in replacement players before they let a whole season go. Okay, you're going to see Keanu Reeves out there. They're going to bring the dude out to play linebacker.
Hey, you might say Keanu Reeves. Also, Keanu Reeves going to be dodging lineman like,
you're gonna
like he in the Matrix.
Coming in out of retirement.
Hey, you're going to see Billy Beeman out there.
You're going to see all the players from the AFL.
Retirement.
Bobby Boucher is coming.
They are not about to let a whole year go by. Let me put it this way, okay? Let me put it this way. If you're a businessman and you selling a product, right? And let's say your product you selling is pizza, and all of a sudden your supplier is running out of dough. What are you gonna do? You're gonna buy some different dough.
Yeah, it may not be good though.
It may not be good.
It may not be good, but the fans gonna still eat it.
Bro, let me tell you something.
Yeah, that's true, because people go to McDonald's. They don't like McDonald's, but they still go. You see the line.
I don't go to McDonald's. I'd rather starve.
Listen, the Big Macs look like cheeseburgers. I never thought I'd hear that in these days, but the Big Mac look like cheeseburgers. And I'm just pointing out to you that nobody is about to sit up there and let money fall to the wayside. They said it's going to be a year-long stoppage. And the truth is, in the first collective bargaining agreement in the NFL, what they had was they had a lot of things that they didn't think that teams would take advantage of. They didn't foresee what was going to come, and they get taken advantage of. That's why you started having players hold out and say, "Forget that franchise tag," because there are some things that they didn't agree on. They didn't agree on players getting suspended or all these problems with kneeling during a football game. They didn't account for all that. You see, and they had to go and fight for these little things that protect the players. Now, FYI, people, this is a perfect segue. We got 77 people in the chat.
I was just about to do it, Luke.
We got 52 likes. Let's get those likes up there, because with those likes up there, that gives this video a chance to get out to the audience who wants to see some real Detroit Lions football, and it gives a chance for people like Luke G, who's been on this thing for 4 months, to get to 1,000. Again, much appreciated to all you, ladies and gentlemen. And I couldn't be here without that. So just get those likes up, people, and keep it going. But for me, this is not news. It's not news that they're going to do this stoppage.
You said they would get so low to where they would bring in replacement players.
Bro, listen,
and we have a possibility of seeing Bobby Boucher out on the field.
Listen, Bobby Boucher.
NFL fans, I don't want to say they're like stupid, but they would go. NFL fans would go to the games with those players just to see if the game's gonna be good.
I mean,
they'll go just to see.
Listen, take it a step further. What if the games are good? Those NFL players gonna be like, oh,
right? Yeah, they might call that strike.
Hey man, what none of y'all say, man. I want to see Bobby Boucher out on the field.
Hey, we all want to see Bobby Boucher destroy somebody.
Listen, let me put this out there. Okay. If they attempt to go for a whole year on a stoppage, you know how many semi-pro, but I don't even know what that means. They killed me with that. We got so many semi-pro teams we do. In Michigan. Yeah. It's ridiculous. But you know how many semi-pro players who like in their 50s who think they still got it will be trying to try out for these teams?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be pulling from every avenue. They're going to go over to Canadian football. Hey, you want to play? I mean, they're not going to let. They brought in replacement refs. It was a nightmare. They were like, "We ain't finna talking."
And think about all the undrafted college players. Right. I got something I want to run about the round table, because this is interesting, because when you as Luigi said, do your research, you'll find out that it's not how it's named. Clip O says, Rick Wagner, who are we getting, good or bad this year? Off of his first year. I guess a lot of people think Rick Wagner was bad last year, but if you actually look at the stats, Rick Wagner was one of our best offensive linemen last year.
Now listen,
Taylor Decker gave up 7 sacks.
Ooh.
Yeah, Taylor Decker was by far our worst lineman this year.
Like Rick Wagner did not give up nearly as many sacks.
Yeah, he was our worst.
But lineman. What do y'all think about that? Good Rick Wagner or bad Rick Wagner? Travis, we're gonna start with you, man.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say good Rick Wagner. Because obviously he is kind of in like that quote unquote contract year without being in a contract year. As Luke G always says, if you follow the money, it'll tell you who's gonna break out and who's not, because the ratio of cap money that we would save if he has a bad Rick Wagner season, it means a cut, and then if he doesn't, then hey, we got a good lineman for now. I mean, obviously we already have his replacement on the roster in Terrell Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it's going to put a little bit of pressure to for him to perform at a high level. Yeah. But I definitely think that we're going to see a good Rick Wagner again.
Yeah.
We have. You got anything to add, Noble?
Yeah. We definitely got to see a good Rick Wagner this season, because if we don't, we finna replace his butt. You know what I mean? We didn't go after all these undrafted guys. Some of these guys
are playing for a job.
Yeah, you're playing for a job this season. We don't got time to play around anymore. We building this thing to win and try to be consistent, and we ain't got time for guys getting blown back off the line and getting pancake city all day. We ain't got that. We ain't got time, because that's what he's supposed to be doing, pancaking guys. And if he's not doing that, then you got to go, dog.
I mean, to me, I think buffed up is making the point that it's the biggest one. Crosby is putting pressure on Rick Wagner. But here's my belief on Rick Wagner. I think when you saw bad Rick Wagner, it was a matter of offensive coordinator and coaching. But this season, you're going to see something different in Rick Wagner, because guess what?
Wasn't Rick Wagner hurt a little bit last season?
He was a little bit hurt, but I think the biggest difference you're going to see is when Rick Wagner was at his best in Baltimore, they ran the ball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so funny.
Wagner's always been solid at run blocking.
I mean, but it's so funny how people don't understand how important running the ball is. Like, and I hate to take it this way, but running the ball to me is like rebounding in the NBA. You have to rebound to win.
Right.
And it's funny because if you go back to Vince Lombardi, I know people who like, I don't hear about no Packers fan, but Vince Lombardi said something that he got from a church sermon in the scripture where he basically said that you have to run to win. And so to this day, he said that 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, he said you have to run to win. And what do you know? It still holds true. Yeah. You have to run to win. And it fixes so many things. When you look at the healthiest teams, the Dallas Cowboys, they was healthy because they ran the ball.
Right. And even though the league has tried to go away from the run,
they tried.
It's still, the run is still effective, man. It's still effective.
But did they try really?
No, they really did. They did because what happened was when somebody started fantasy sports, and when they started the fantasy sports, they was like, yo, there's big money in this. So what they started doing, they started having fantasy sports shows. Yep. And then they started giving more points for passing. And it became this big thing. This is why I hate fantasy football.
Yeah, I'm not a fantasy football.
Well, I'm not into fantasy, but okay, I know they tried, but I just feel like it never was a thing.
No, it was a thing. I mean, if you look at it, if you look at the NFL in the 80s.
What's the year?
I'm just showing you. If you look at it in the 80s, the 90s, and now here we are in the 2000s, you would notice that the passing rates have went up. Quarterbacks back then was averaging 25 to 28 passes. It wasn't like a whole lot of
4,000 back then. Yeah, 4,000 and 5,000 yards.
Yeah, you wasn't getting 4,000 and 5,000 yard passes, you know. And then when you look up, even when you look at the passing numbers and yards over a career, over a 10-year career, those have went up significantly. And the little changes that they're making, where you can't hit the quarterback and you can't hit them here, and all these little things that they're doing is making it so you can pass the ball more. And that in and of itself proves that they're making these changes.
I'll agree with you there, but what my thing is, I think the reason why it didn't work is the running back position got better. These guys can do it all now, or at least the top guys. And sometimes they're the best offensive player on the entire team. Yeah. And so you can't go away from these guys.
But they tried to. They tried to do it.
They did try, but when Ezekiel Elliott's and Todd Gurley's pop up, what you gonna do? Run the ball.
And see, and that's the reason why they kept coming out with this thing about the running back has to be able to catch out of the backfield, because that was just letting you know and indicating that that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to pass more. And if the running back couldn't catch out of the backfield, we don't want you. Because I know that's something that a lot of teams was doing. Like, if you ain't a running back that can run the ball and catch, no, you ain't going to have a job with us, because we need you doing all of it.
Right. And I think that's what you're starting to see more of. You're starting to see more of this trend to get back towards the run. I remember where the trend started, though. And it's so funny because when they were trying to do this running back by committee, one running back came into the league and showed people that you can truly win games with a running back, and that was Adrian Peterson. Yep. He changed the way that people looked at it. And then you had another moment where Ezekiel Elliott, even though Ezekiel Elliott had a much better offensive line. And so I just look at these little things that stand out to me that makes sense. So now I will say this, because I see a lot of questions about,
let's some of the questions.
Yeah, if Ragnar is at center, who's playing guard? I honestly believe Graham Glasgow is going to probably go over to the left guard, and the right guard, believe it or not, is going to be up for grabs by one of the rookies or Terrell Crosby. I think Kenny Wiggins is getting the boot. You're going to get, I think it's like $5 million or it's like 3.4 or something like that you're going to get for cutting him. So I think he's going. So Glasgow would be the left guard, and the right guard, I'll put it out there right now, is probably going to be a rookie.
Luke, I know you being nice or whatever, you following the money, but Kenny Wiggins getting cut because he's garbage. He gave him 5 sacks last year. He played in like 6 games and gave him 5.
Come on, J-Mo, get a man started, man.
J-Mo got no chill.
I'm just saying he played in like 6 games and gave him 5 sacks. He's terrible. That's why he don't lose his job. The money makes sense, and you're right. But
why you doing him like this, man? What did he do to deserve this? Why you doing him like this?
What did Kenny do?
No, because I did research on all of the offensive linemen and how well they did. Kenny Wiggins was by far the worst besides Taylor Decker. And he didn't even start in these games. He was filling in and being terrible.
Yo, what up, Nomis? What's up, Nom?
What's good,
Nomis? Here in these streets. You out here in these streets clowning, man. I don't know what's right. I'm gonna need you not to be so angry, bro. I'm gonna need you.
Yeah, yo, tell him why you mad, son. Tell him why you
mad. Right. Tell him why you mad, man.
Oh no, you're gonna hear a lot of mad from me if Kenny Wiggins starting.
I will say this. Well, from what going back to OTAs, I think they had Graham Glasgow over at the right guard at times.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could be so versatile that either or he could really play. He could play the right guard, he could play the left guard. Oh yeah, he's played the what do you call it, the left guard. But I mean, with the versatility he has, he could play both, either left guard or right guard. And
let me ask y'all this: would you? I mean, we don't know. Let's just assume it's a rookie. Would you rather that rookie be at the right guard or at left guard? Because Graham is used to left guard.
I think right guard makes more sense, because if you look at it, and it's always about the blind side. If you're telling me that all the pressure is going to come from the left, they're going to get the Khalil Mack, they're going to get the Hakeem Hicks from the Bears, they're going to get the who's the right DN over there? I think it's
Everson Griffin.
Yeah, they're going to get him. And they're going to get the LaVar Josephs. They're going to get these different pressures from the edge. So most certainly you want the veteran to do it. And the reason you saw Graham playing the right guard is because in this line system, you are required to know all 5 positions, at least 2. Yeah. So he's going to have to be able to play it, because they only carry. This is not me saying it. Bob Quinn said it. The coaches said it. We only dress 7 offensive linemen.
Yep.
7. That means 5 starters, 2 backups. The rest will be on practice squad and praying.
And they still get paid though. I wish I was on a practice squad.
Listen, let me tell you something right now.
I wish you got some healthy bodies if that lockout happens.
Yeah, I got another thing to add though.
Really quick. Let me say this. In case anybody from the Lions organization is listening, if you need somebody to run around with a towel and wipe the sweat off the players, I am available, as long as the check is $150,000. I am available. I would be the best sweat wiper in the history of all sweat wipers. I mean, you don't even know.
No, I was about to say, and this is another thing though, because I know Crosby is Rick Wagner's replacement, but in my opinion, Crosby, because he was like I said, I literally was watching some game. He was lining up in a lot of places. I actually like him at a guard spot, even though I know he's a tackle and that's what they want him to be. You don't think they would try to put him in one of those places just because he's a good offensive lineman?
Now, the thing about Crosby is this. I've been looking at those little highlight videos they've been posting, and they have been very mum on what he's doing in terms of being at the offensive line. And that is something that I have been trying to dig into. I've been waiting for them to also release the open days to the public so I can kind of go and get a personal look and see, because I don't need to have a camera out there to tell y'all what I saw. But it's just one of the things where I'm trying to be able to see the different things, and that's what I'm looking at. So it says, well, we got a question. Tulio says, do you think the Detroit Lions will be top 10 in the league by week 9? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, emphatically yes.
He said emphatically yes.
Emphatically yes. Y'all don't understand. This is the thing about this. Running the ball.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me get my Herm Edwards voice on. We play to win the game. Okay? This is why we play, people. Running the ball wins games. And what I think is going to happen is when we're running that ball, it's going to change up the way you play people. Because now if I got to put 8 in the box, just to slow down the run game, guess what happened with those receivers we got? It's lunchtime. It's lunch. You feel me? Pack your lunch, get the popcorn ready. Okay, it's gonna be a long day. Make sure you got something to drink. Kevin Hart, sippy Coca-Cola cup. Y'all gonna need to be ready.
Hey, I'm gonna add to it. Them putting A-Man in the box, sometimes that's not gonna matter at all. Our running back is that good.
You know, it's one of the things where
on your butt.
it boils down to just simply to what's been working. Period. Point blank. Every time you saw the New York Giants start off slow and make a run, they literally made a run by running the ball. I remember. I remember they went 10-6, but you couldn't stop Jacobs and Bradshaw.
Hey, look,
you couldn't.
Hey, I ain't gonna take anything away from Kerryon. Check it out. Kerryon is our guy. He's our man. That's our guy. But if we had Saquon Barkley in the backfield, ooh.
Oh no, man, dude! You know I wanted to give up everything to get Saquon Barkley. Nomis J met me back then. He would have been pulling up on me. I was like, give up anything for Saquon besides Slay and Kenny Galladay.
Okay, listen. Here's my thing. Here's my thing.
No, Saquon is special, man.
Okay. He's special. Okay. Man. All right. Let me just say this because I know I'm finna upset a few masters with this one. All right. Let me just go ahead and give y'all this disclaimer. If what I'm finna say is gonna be supported, all right, I totally get it. I would much rather have Kerryon Johnson or Sony Michel over Saquon Barkley any day of the week, hands down. Hands down.
No. Well, Luke, you going down that island by yourself?
I'll go down. No way. I'll go down. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, all right.
Tell you why. I'm going for Saquon.
Okay, we'll go for Saquon. Saquon Barkley had way more games. He had way more games to carry on. Huh?
You go ahead.
Saquon Barkley had way more games and carries than Kerryon Johnson. And Kerryon Johnson was right up there with him in rushing yards. Right up there. And I'm telling you,
second most, yeah.
I'm telling you, in the case of Sony Michel, I go and watch that Super Bowl, and you tell me it wasn't special what he did. Y'all be looking at all them little cuts and all them jukes, and it's cute. It's cute when they do it.
Yeah, but you can't tell me Saquon wouldn't be a beast with the Patriots.
Man, Saquon Barkley.
No.
This dude is talented.
You said no.
No.
All right, let's move on to a different topic.
Listen,
I can't even take this serious right now.
Listen, I know it's an unpopular thing. I'm also the same person who has different views that people think is crazy until it comes true. When I watch Saquon Barkley, this is just me. When I watch Saquon Barkley, and even in the pro level, from the college level to the pro level, I said, oh, he's a pretty decent back. But what I also looked at was, I said, people get excited with those little jukes, and I'm like, that's cool, but it's nothing. I was more impressed when I would watch Jerome Bettis just run through you. I was more impressed when I would watch Marshawn Lynch run through you. That is what Kerryon Johnson and Sony Michel bring to the table. In the case of Sony Michel, he ain't doing that.
Okay, that's your point,
right? That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Saquon Barkley can do any type of run. I've seen him run downhill. On my Michigan team, run all down our throats. He wasn't making no jukes. He ran straight up the middle.
Wait. J-Mo. Okay, J-Mo.
Hey, man, I've seen Saquon destroy Ohio State, man.
J-Mo, I am wrapping my arms around you. I'm wrapping my arms around you because I want you to know that this is all in love. Everybody ran a train on Michigan that time, okay? I'm just going to be honest. Saquon didn't do nothing nobody was
actually, that isn't true.
Oh, it isn't?
We had the number one rushing defense, and Saquon turned it into mincemeat.
Oh, okay. So y'all had the number one rushing defense, and who did y'all play in that number one rushing defense? Go back and look at those games, and who was the guy that y'all was playing that was running the ball? I'll wait.
Hey, all I know is Saquon is the only one that destroyed us that year. Saquon is the only one that did that to us. Nobody else did it.
Hey, so you know it, man. If I got an opportunity to get Saquon Barkley over Kerryon Johnson, I'm getting Saquon Barkley. I'm sorry.
Listen. Let me just address them in the chat. Melvin Drew says, Luke, his team was trash. Like Barry Sanders, you got to juke when your team is trash. I get it, but I mean, I don't get it.
We just move on because Luke on the island by himself.
D-Town says, Luke, he caught 91 footballs. That's beautiful. That's a lot of people. That's wonderful. Okay, that's beautiful. Butler says career ain't lasting long running through people. No, it's not. It's not going to last long running through people. But here's where I look at it, and I just say, for me, like when I watched Adrian Peterson, he was a game changer. And the things that he did was based on what the defense did to him. If he needed to run through you, he ran through you. If he needed to run around you, he'll run around you. And
you tell me,
to me,
okay, this was on Twitter yesterday because I think this is comparable. I'm not saying Kerryon is like AP or anything like that. I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not saying
who are you taking, LaDainian Tomlinson or AP?
For me,
yeah,
AP.
I knew you was gonna say that, and that's why we need to move on.
Bro, I love me some LaDainian Tomlinson. Let's
just move on, man. Let's get back to the Lions.
Here goes some facts for you. Adrian Peterson with a stacked box.
Yeah,
made them boys look like they was like Pop Warner. It was bad. LaDainian Tomlinson, has been great. I love LaDainian Tomlinson. I actually think Sony Michel reminds me a lot of LaDainian Tomlinson.
You fooling now.
I know until you see the numbers and the facts. I keep trying to tell you. I only speak on
Sony Michel not gonna have second most touchdowns ever. He ain't the first ballot Hall of Famer.
Listen, Sony Michel don't have those numbers. It's not because of Sony Michel's lack of ability. It's because of how he's utilized. But what I'm saying is this. And D-Town says I'm in solitary confinement for that. I feel you. But
right, like that's what I say. Let's just move on because we ain't getting nowhere with this.
No, listen. If you just give me a second, I'll break it down to you. For me, when I go through and I look at the running backs in the NFL, and what I like to see out of the running backs, there's very simple things that I look for. When Ezekiel Elliott came in, there you can see this clear-cut difference in what he do. If he had to run through you, whatever the case may be, he did it. And on top of that, he blocks. Ezekiel Elliott blocks. Now, when I go through Saquon Barkley ain't no blocker. He ain't known to be no blocker.
Hey, I'm gonna do my research. I ain't gonna be no chump. I'm gonna go look at and see if Saquon Barkley blocks or not. But if
you're gonna find the same two plays where he got in the way of a defender, but he's not a blocker. Ezekiel Elliott is a blocker. Ezekiel Elliott and Adrian Peterson are on a class of their own. They're different.
Man, no.
When it's all said and done in Canton, we'll see if they first ballot. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
LaDainian Tomlinson first ballot, bro.
I'm just saying. Y'all.
Okay, all right, man. I'm gonna end it with this because we gotta move on.
We move on. Y'all can talk about
Saquon Barkley can do anything.
When it's all said and done, Saquon Barkley played a full season, and I'm just pointing it out to you. We're gonna see what happens when all these teams play a full season. We're gonna see who stand out. Saquon Barkley is not as special as y'all would like to think he is.
No, that's your. I'm not gonna say
right. That's your opinion. False, man.
Yep.
Like Saquon Barkley can do anything. Literally, run, catch, anything running that football.
Hey, love it. I love it because the one thing about Luke is Luke made sure he did his research before he spoke. And I promise you, when it's all said and done,
and when Kerryon was close to him in yards, Saquon had way more touchdowns.
Hey, listen, here go the best part about it too. This is all recorded. Hey,
okay, man. All right, Luke. If we quit talking 20 years from now, I'll be like, now what was that crazy stuff you was talking about Saquon, bro?
Hey, this is all recorded.
I'm not gonna be no chump. I'm gonna go do what you told me to do, man.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying, go.
I'll come back.
Like I said, you on an island by yourself, bro.
Hey,
Nomis said, Luke, you scaring me. He said he gonna make a video of this. Yeah, I don't. Hey, Luke is on the island by himself talking about Saquon Barkley like that.
Listen, all I know is Kerryon Johnson didn't even have the same amount of touches and carries as Saquon. He wasn't even used in the pass game because we had one of the worst offensive coordinators, in the history of ever. And the yards per average and all the numbers, they was very close and similar. There was I understand that there's nobody really blocking over there for him, but our line was toe up too.
But I'm saying just because Kerryon was really good, they don't take nothing away from Saquon being really good.
I'm not taking it away from it. I'm saying one of them guys in the end is going to end up being costing a lot of money and not bringing you nothing to the house, and the other one is not going to cost you a lot of money and bring you everything. And the difference between
that's because the Giants, we the Lions and the Giants are the Giants.
Okay,
there's nothing around Saquon out there by himself. Carry-on got a quarterback.
Every single bit of what do you call it?
They got rid of Odell. Like he really bombed himself.
Saquon is the focal point of the offense now.
Right, man.
Hey, listen, I'm just putting it out there.
Okay,
but
I
will agree. I will agree on this one. I will agree on this one point. Luke did bring up a good point on this one point.
Yeah.
Kerryon Johnson was second behind Saquon. Yeah, and with not having a lot of touches, that is impressive. That's very impressive.
With the same thing up trash line.
Yeah.
Well, our line was better than
the line that gave up 41 sacks.
I'm not debating the fact that he did that. I'm just saying that Saquon Barkley is a generational talent, and he's one of the best young running backs in the league. And I see it with my own eyes.
Like, I probably would put him at like 2 or 3 right now.
Oh man, wow, yeah. It's a good thing I don't do drugs because right now y'all would have me on a stressor right now getting blows. So I'm just gonna tell
you already getting blows talking about the stuff you talking about.
I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
Dude said if Saquon played for the Patriots, he wouldn't be doing what Sony Michel is doing. That's when I knew we needed to stop talking.
Nah, listen, I'm finna point out to you. You have to understand the Patriots have had a plethora of running backs, and the way they use their running backs is not traditional to how other teams use them. So you wouldn't see a lot of the same numbers and carries like that. He wouldn't be getting all those touches, even though they run the ball. They run it by committee and by set to expose certain things. He's not going to be staying in on all those down. They didn't do it with Sony Michel, but when they needed Sony Michel to close the game out, he closed the game out. And he ran forward. He didn't juke. He didn't cut. He ran forward and got those hard yards when he needed to. And that's what you need. I need a closer. I don't need somebody, who can set you up. That's cool. Set me up when I need to.
So can Saquon not run in between the tackles?
I didn't say he couldn't do that. I didn't tell you that.
But I've seen him do it.
Right, but I didn't say he didn't do that. See,
all I'm saying is if New England didn't have Sony Michel and they had Saquon, they still would have been champions. Stop it.
No, listen. Listen, you can put you on the New England Patriots and they're going to be champions. They have a coach.
That's kind of a beast, bro. What you thought?
But my point I'm trying to make to you is this. If you look at Saquon Barkley and you put Saquon Barkley on the New England Patriots and you tell him he's going to do something, he's not, because of how they're going to use him. They're going to use him differently. And what I'm pointing out to you is
it's true, Luke, what you're saying, because you got to look at it like this too, Luke. Ezekiel, Todd Gurley, guys like that, and Saquon, they're used more in the offense. Like they get a bulk of the workload than the other running backs, than like Kerryon, because he's splitting carries with other guys. So I do see what you're saying.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. They're not gonna do that. But for me, when I look at the running back position, like for example, I like Todd Gurley, right? Like I think Todd Gurley is a solid running back. I love what he brings to the table. Mm-hmm. He has those same abilities as a Saquon Barkley to get in and out of his cuts and stuff. But the one thing that I noticed about Todd Gurley is when they rolled him like that, his wheels started falling off. And he came in already pre-injured, but nonetheless, his wheels started falling off. And then on top of that, what I thought I noticed with Todd Gurley was Todd Gurley didn't just try to set you up. He ran based on what y'all did. If you was in his way, he ran through you. When I watch Saquon, Saquon is always looking to avoid you rather than say, okay, this is what you're doing. Let me react and run through you. And
if you look at Saquon, to me, he's like a bigger version of Barry Sanders with the ball in his hand. Barry was a smaller running back that was able to make the agility and the cuts and all that. And that's something that Saquon is really good. He's really good with agility.
Yeah, all I'm saying is Saquon can do anything. Okay, and I've seen him do it.
Listen, I'm not mad at y'all.
Kerryon, because Kerryon is a beast.
But Kerryon is amazing. But I mean, come on, man. Like if we had Saquon and we didn't have Kerryon, we probably would have been better.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Kerryon is the one who has injury issues. Kerryon is the one who had injury issues coming into the NFL. Hold on. He didn't even finish the season, Luke.
Hold on, J-Mo. Hold on. Just give me a minute. I got to finish rolling this blunt up because
he did not finish the season, Luke.
You got me smoking now. What?
He did not finish the season. Saquon would have finished the season.
Listen, it does not matter if he didn't finish the season. He didn't finish the season. Y'all say that like he shut himself down.
I'm just saying Saquon would have been there the whole time, and we would have been fine.
No, they would have. They would have shut Saquon down too. They was preserving him for the following year. They shut down Kerryon Johnson.
Only reason they shut down Kerryon is because he got hurt.
Oh, hold on, guys. Somebody said you can't. This D-Town. He said you can't give Kerryon the ball 25 times a game. He's not built like that.
You right. It's all he did in college.
Yeah. I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't agree with that.
Running back.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, let's move on because we ain't getting nowhere, man.
Baby, this is hot.
Luke need to send me his weed, man. ASAP.
Hey, Luke, you've been to the dispensary lately, man.
Hey,
he just came back.
Listen, I remember the year Cam Newton won the MVP, and I argued with everybody that he was not the MVP, and they said why? And I said he had 9 games where he threw for 180 yards and 1 touchdown or less. Yeah. And I said out of those 9, 4 of them he threw for 1 touchdown, 5 of them he didn't, and they still won by double digits. He is not the MVP. People say, well, look at all the running he's doing. I said that running ain't gonna matter when he go up against a defense that controls the outside. And what happened? They get in the Super Bowl, and sure enough, they bottled him up and destroyed him. And then I lost all respect for him as a human being. When you in the biggest game, this is why you play the game. You fumble, and you right there to pick it up, but you bow out, and then get mad and storm out the interview. Bye.
Luke, all I'm gonna say is that was cute, but this ain't the same situation.
I feel you. I feel you.
Not at all.
We got 80 people.
You can be a teacher if you listen long enough.
Saquon Barkley
now,
to really
back in. Here's the thing, people. Darrell Bevel brought up some very interesting facts about adapting his offense based on what teams around him are doing, and he talked about doing some things that are going to that he believes is the first stepping stone to winning the division. When looking at Darrell Bevel talking about the possibilities of his scheme, because he didn't give a lot, how important is it for you guys, for the offensive coordinator, to be adaptive?
It's the most important thing, because it's going to be tons of time where the game plan isn't going to work because of the person on the other side is going to be maybe just as good as you, and you're going to have to make adjustments not at halftime but also in game. If you can't do that, you won't be able to win the games that matter.
Okay. All right. What about you, Trav?
I mean, it's very important. I always say being a chameleon, you're always adapting.
Yeah.
And I think that's even what our defense is. It's a chameleon. So if you're able to adjust, 3 minutes in the game, your game plan went to down the toilet, you're still in it because you're adapting to it, to the game situation. So I think it's very important.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Noble? TA?
Say that again, Luke. I was checking out.
What's the importance for the offensive coordinator to be adaptive in the game, and how do you see it playing out for the Detroit Lions having that new thing?
Well, you basically got to keep the defense honest. You got to whatever they giving us, we got to take it. You know what I'm saying? If they're giving us up the middle, they're giving us off the tackles, they're giving us the outside runs. You take whatever the defense give you. If it's doing draw plays or dives or whatever it is, you just you go out there with that offense and have that mindset of saying, we're going to run the ball up. We're going to run the ball. You know what I'm saying? We're going to play some smash mouth football. And we're going to run the ball straight up the gut, or we going off the tackle button and we going for some yards. So I think that with the offense, I definitely think that Darrell Bevel is going to have to take what the defense is given with that run game.
I think for me. I think for me, in terms of the adaptability, I think that it's everything. It's one of the reasons why, people say, well, we make excuses for this player, we make excuses for that player. I just look at the coaching. I remember when the Lions took Andre Ware, and I remember looking and saying, hey, man, here you are with this running back, these receivers, and I'm just trying to figure out why you can't get this done. And you're supposed to be having a little bit of mobility to you and all these different things. And I think the coaching was there. Like I really felt that the coaching was there, and so to me, to be able to adapt is like is so pivotal, man, because it sets up everything that you're going to see. The big thing is they're going to be a run first team, and that's the most important thing. And I think getting back to the run, it sets up everything.
It will.
Yeah, because it's so crazy because most New England Patriots fans that I have talked to have told me that, man, Tom Brady. And then when I go and show them what they ranked in the rush, they're like, what? I don't remember us running the ball that much. I know, because he was adaptive. He was switching it in and out, and it was confusing for you. You just knew the ball was in the air, but they ran a whole lot. And so those are the little things that I think makes, the offensive coordinator great. If he does not do those things, he won't be great. Now, there were some questions earlier about Austin Bryant. And Austin Bryant, I have seen Austin Bryant stand up as an outside rush linebacker. I have seen this in one of the OTA videos. But he's going to be just that hybrid person. He's going to be treated like how they did Willie McGinnis, to be truthful.
He definitely. I knew that's what they drafted him for.
Yeah,
to play both spots, to rush and play that linebacker spot. I knew that's exactly what they drafted him for, and that's what I said from day one. He will be filling in at that linebacker spot. Yeah. But I expect his hand in the dirt more than playing linebacker.
Agree.
Okay.
Agree.
And Buffed Up says, what's the chances the Lions do the Philly special with Stafford? We literally did the Philly special before Philly did, so come on, man.
1%.
Detroit Coney special.
I mean, let's be honest.
Like, they literally stole it from us, and a lot of Lions fans are like very upset with that still to this day.
I mean, let's be honest. It's a 1% chance. It's a 1% chance of it happening, and the reason I think that is because we don't run we don't run too many trick plays like we used to. Back then we had a whole bunch of them, and I'm glad we don't. I don't need.
Daryl Bevell has some trick plays in his repertoire though. I'm not saying Philly special level, but
I didn't say he did, but the percentage. The question was. Yeah, the question was.
Melvin Drew says, Bevel also said he likes motioning instead of subbing out. That puts the defense on skates. Just imagine them two tight end sets with running back.
Ooh, that 12 personnel gonna be serious.
We've actually seen this with Russell Wilson. I've literally seen this one play with the Seahawks where they had the same guys out, and they literally switched the entire 12 people and came up with this formation that I literally never seen before. And then they did a play action run. It was, wow. I'm like, what in the world was that?
Wow.
And it worked. So Daryl Bevell was very, very creative. You're not just going to get play action pass. You're going to get play action run. During the game, when we moving that up-tempo, no huddle offense, it might be a whole lot of switching around that you're just not used to.
I actually think that it's really cool to see that, in the past, the Lions were one of the top teams in play action, even though we never had a run game. I don't understand how that happens. But now when they actually do it, you have to respect it. If I play action carry on, you got to come up. If I play action to CJ Anderson, you got to come up. You know what I mean? And to me, I just look at it and I say, at the end of the day, those little small things, those really small things are what makes a team so much better. And it's become an art. When you look at the best of the best quarterbacks, the play action was an art because they knew that, when Peyton Manning play action to Edric James and you don't come up, shame on you.
Yeah.
He gonna hurt your
and people gonna call me a Stafford for saying this, but I'm just stating facts. 2017, Stafford was the second best quarterback in the league in play action. And the number one quarterback actually was Kirk Cousins, which is hilarious. But we had the 31st rushing attack, and he was second in the league on play action completions and touchdowns. And play action plays of 20 or more yards with the 31st rushing attack. Ooh. Just imagine when we have Kerryon Johnson and CJ Anderson.
And like I said, it's one of them things where it has to be respected, and we haven't had that respect in a long time. And even when I go through and I look at the way that they are doing the offense for this year, the first thing I want people to understand is you're not going to see this light them up, greatest show on turf offense. It's going to be a slow burn. New England plays a slow burn game, and they take a lot of field goals. But
hey, I want to say something that George Morgan said that was significant about the offense. George Morgan said in the chat, he said, our offense will resemble Minnesota's offense before Bevel left, but 12 instead of 21. Most our outside linebackers and defensive ends are interchangeable.
And you know, it's funny. This is the same thing that I've been telling people that they don't want to hear, but I've been telling people that listen. At the end of the day, y'all need to understand that. Go back and look at Minnesota. Because I think there was this, and I think I said this in one of my videos where the NBC sports people was talking about some Viking fans were excited to see Daryl Bevel back, and I was like, "Are they? Are they really? They should be afraid. They really should because what happened was they got Adrian Peterson and did okay, and then they added Brett Favre and did even better. So a run game with a capable quarterback, and it's the same thing they have here in Detroit. A run game with a capable quarterback is a threat. I don't know why, but if Minnesota is happy that he's here, then I'm happy that Minnesota happy because they're going to cry later. And I have a lot.
I don't think it's a competition standpoint. I think they just like Daryl Bevel.
Yeah, they might. It might be. They love Bevel's offense.
I mean, it's one of them things. You know, it's one of the things where I just look at it. You know, and thank you, George Morgan said it. Brett Favre went to the NFC Championship game, right? Yes.
Yeah, and then him and Adrian Peterson didn't choke.
And he threw across the show.
Offense then.
Yeah, that remember you and listen. If the only thing that derailed them was Brett Favre, you know, making a few bad throws, and I mean bad. They was
throwing across your body, across the middle of that.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Is that the year is that the year the Vikings almost went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Saints?
Yeah.
They both of their best players made mistakes in that game, so they lost.
Yeah, see?
Yep.
It's not any deeper than that.
Yeah, so it's one of the things where I look at it and I just say at the end of the day, that's where we need to be at in terms of it. So I think too often I don't even look for the media to say anything. I found one media report that was good, that talked about them doing good, and it was kind of condescending. Like it was like, oh, this millennial guy is a fan of the Lions just because he has nothing else to do. And it's like, oh, that's what we doing now? All right.
Right.
And like I said, the media is just trying to create dissension. So they're going to put out all negative articles. Anything negative, they're going to try to push. And guys, we got 79 people in the chat. Make sure you like the video.
80.
Yeah, get the mics up. 80.
Hey,
we gotta move on up to the east side. Now, I love George Morgan's standpoint where he says Minnesota fell completely off when Bevel left. That's facts.
Yeah, they did.
Yes,
They was in the dumpster for a while until they got Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, they was in the dumpster for a while. So
what I'm learning about Daryl Bevel, because I didn't know a lot about the guy, but I'm learning that he's been far in the playoffs a lot. You know what I'm saying, with his offense.
Yeah,
I'm really liking
where
that.
he's went.
I didn't know that about the guy.
I mean, Seattle was a perennial out of the first round every time playoff team with Daryl Bevel.
Yeah, I mean, people forget that.
Like
Seattle
the Cowboys lost this past season
79.
was the first time they lost in the first round in like 5 years. I mean, not 5 years.
Wow.
Well, again, this is why some Seahawks fans are frustrated with Pete Carroll because they know that Pete Carroll is the one really pulling the strings, and then he fires someone, who to kind of cover his own behind. But the truth is, they should have let Russell Wilson throw a little bit more in that playoff game, and they didn't.
Definitely.
And then on top of that, you have to look at this standpoint where I think that under Daryl Bevel, you look at the Seattle Seahawks offense, it was good enough to get things done, even with the defense out there. The defense just had to get their stops, and the offense did their job. I think we're going to see those same things. I don't look for them to be. Let me rephrase it. I don't look for them to reinvent the wheel. I just look for them to make sure that the wheel is round and perfectly round and roll the way it's supposed to. And that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I do want to say something.
Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
I will say this. Fred Jackson did say this. He said, Ford Field's been open since 2003, and we have not yet seen a playoff game at Ford Field. Well, I will say this, Fred Jackson. Get your playoff tickets ready because we're going to see it this year. Because we're going to win that division by the run game.
I think so.
And for the Lions fan,
round table too.
Go ahead.
Okay, the question that I got for all of us is, why do we come in every season as a Lion fan so optimistic about our team doing well, and sometimes we get slapped in the face? How do y'all feel about going into this season? Because I know as a Lion,
Well,
as a Lion fan,
I'm gonna tell you why I come into the season.
Let me finish. I'll let you go. Well, the reason why I'm saying that because I know that we always come in the season with high hopes of, rah, we're gonna do it, and then we get slapped in the face, and we don't make it to where we think we should be. So, whoever want to chime in first, go ahead.
J-Mo, you can go first. I'll let you go first. Go ahead, man. Because
to me, it's simple. It's not even something that's deep. We have one of the best players in the NFL.
Yeah,
Matthew Stafford. So every year I'm going to come in thinking positive because we have one of the best players in the NFL. We have a top 10 player in the NFL. So, and he's a quarterback. So that's why I think that. But what I would say is you have to look at who we draft every year. And you have to look at who we get in the offseason. Like I'll keep saying it. The guys we got last year in free agency, we really didn't do nothing. Now the draft was amazing.
Yeah.
But if you look at that, and this is the one season compared to like a lot of the seasons past where we was getting slapped in the face, we actually had a great off season in free agency and a great draft. So I think that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
With this specific season compared to the last one, and one more thing I'll say, because a lot of Lions fans, why are you so optimistic about this year? Well, Matt Patricia won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Darrell Bevell won a Super Bowl, and Bob Quinn had Super Bowls. When has the Lions had 3 people in charge that all have won Super Bowl and playoff games consistently? It ain't never happened until now.
Okay. All right, Trav, you up, brother? Because I'm telling you, I know the boys go. Go, Trav.
Well, I'm gonna say this. With Darrell Bevell bringing in, knowing how to use our tight ends the right way, bringing in the right tight ends, running the ball, having Stafford, having Kenny Galladay, having Matt Patricia led defense with Paul Pasqualeone, it really, I think everybody's the round table has preached this the most, which is this: winning teams do a few things: run the ball, pass to tight ends, stop the run, and play sound defense. You do them, and you make your first downs. You pretty much control the field position. And in a game of inches, that's huge.
That's huge.
Okay, in my barber from Coming to America voice, that boy good. Good job, man. That boy good. Oh, yeah, that boy good. I'm telling you, man, you're crazy. That boy good. You're on fire. Listen, let me just tell you. The truth is this. I think this is the truth. There's a difference between being optimistic and being realistic. And realistically, you have to be able to see things and ask yourself, in all those years, could you see the plan? For me, there was never no plan. There was never no direction. There was not drafting for scheme. There was not drafting for a plan. The organization as a whole was not on the same page. OG makes a very good point.
You said a good point right there, Luke. I'm going to stop you for 1 second. You said something really key, what you just said. They wasn't drafting for scheme. Back then, what we were drafting for best player available back then, right?
No, it wasn't even best player available. It was best player to put fans in the seats.
Okay.
That's what it was. We wanted people in the stadiums, and that's what they were doing. They wasn't drafting. They was like, if you just get a player that fans want, they're happy, they'll show up. And that's what the truth. It worked. It was good marketing, and it worked. But I think OG said it best. The organization is on the same page. I think Sean Jones said it best. It's been a culture change alert. I mean, these are the things that I'm looking at. And when I look at it, I can see the plan. I can see the direction. Everything they have done has said that we are getting back to what we did in 1991. So when people ask me, where am I getting my optimistic view from, mine is coming from the fact that this offseason wasn't just about bringing in a name. It was about bringing in people who fit. This draft wasn't about bringing in a name. It was about bringing in people who make sense to fit a system. And those things right there are the things that give me optimistic views. The things that scare me a little bit is because with a new offensive coordinator, there can be some growing pains, but nonetheless, I gotta be honest, it's not a whole lot of frustration when you can turn around and hand the ball off. It's just not. And the best parts of it is when you look at this team in the past, when they was drafting, you know, they were basically doing it off of Lions polls. Lions fans wanted Charles Rogers. Right. And these are the same fans who now are angry and bitter that they sucked. Because they were the ones we want Charles Rogers, and they
Roy Williams, right? We want,
you know, and then they get mad that we get the people that they rooted for because the Lions knew that they was going to put y'all butts in the seat, and then now y'all want to turn around and get mad. So for me, when I look at this team, I look at the schedule, I look at the circumstances, and I look at the history. The Packers for the last 2 seasons have did what against the Lions? Lost. The Vikings have been in dog fights for the last 2 seasons with the Lions. They swept the Lions this season, but last year, I mean the year before that, it was a bit of a dog fight. The Bears slowly came up, but with 1 year to see what you bring out new gives me more time to prepare for it. And with more information, it's like the old quote: when you know better, you should do better. So for me, there's a lot of reason for it. I don't feel that we're going to get slapped in the face. And if we do, Luke G is here to take all the criticism. I don't shy away from it.
Oh no, you don't shy away from hashtag facts, baby.
No, right? Yeah, you want to come and talk to me about it? We're gonna talk about it, and then everything you say that's true, I'm gonna go that's true, and everything you say that's false, I'm gonna say that's false. But I'm gonna show you why we win and why we lose these games. And I'm telling you, it starts with running the ball. Winning teams run the ball. Vince Lombardi said it best: you run to win. So you should be optimistic about this season.
I got an example for Luke. I was just watching the Panthers game, and when Carry-On, because that's the game he got hurt in, right? When Carry-On was actually healthy in that game, we was destroying the Panthers. The moment we put LeGarrette Blount back out there, what happened? They came all the way back.
We banning LeGarrette Blount's name. We're not naming LeGarrette Blount no more.
LeGarrette, he said LeGarrette.
We're not doing it. We're not finna play these games with him. And it's just one of the things where, even in that Panther game, man, there were so many things where the Lions could have lost. They was trying to get a lot of things better where you saw that there were issues and stuff like that. And I think that many people don't understand it. And to have a team be able to draft for a scheme that you can see what they're doing, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, especially when you know the pieces that they picked up. You know, everything. And this the biggest thing that gets me hyped. Everybody hates what the Lions is doing. If they was praising I would be very concerned.
Everybody's hating what we're doing.
Yes.
So I want to bring this point up because I watched the video earlier this week with and I know it's an older video. It was beginning of the draft. It was Mike Valeni and Dave Burkett. Dave Burkett was pretty much on he was on the phone or whatever. And they were just talking about the Lions draft picks and things of that. And they're just saying like, the Lions didn't really pick any guys that I really feel that's like Pro Bowl caliber players. And, you know, we don't really know, like I always say this to anyone, you know, we don't really know what these players are going to be until they start getting out on the field. They have not taken a snap yet. So you don't know what type of players you have until they get out on the field. And when I heard Mike Valeni and Dave Burkett just making those, you know what I'm saying, well, the Lions, you know, they really didn't get any names or anything. You know, it's not, if you really look at it, it's not about the name. It's not about the name. It's the person that's going to fit, the person that's going to go out there and play. You know what I'm saying? So with so they said something about Jelani Tavai as far like nobody knew who he was. You know, just because you didn't know who he was because you're not a scout and you're not out scouting thousands of you know what I'm saying? You're not scouting the thousands of linebackers like the Lions are. You don't know what the Lions see in this guy. And I'm hoping that Jelani Tavai, just because they trying to come at this guy, I hope he beats like a Troy Polamalu at the linebacker position all over the field for us because they keep hating on this guy.
Because it was hilarious. Yeah, it was hilarious their response. They were like, why did they pick Jelani? And they were just like looking at each other, talking to Dave Burkett, Carlos Menor, and they were just like laughing. Well, what are they doing? Who is this guy? Like, you're not supposed to know who the guy is. That doesn't give you.
But go to the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. They didn't know who Richard Sherman was until you knew.
Right.
You know what I mean? They didn't know receiver. They didn't know who he was. They didn't know who Antonio Brown was till you knew. They didn't know who Shannon Sharp was till you knew. They didn't know who Randy Moss was until you knew.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly. They didn't know who Kenny Golladay was. Remember when they went in on Kenny Golladay? Oh, who is this Kenny Golladay? This is a bust. Oh, how you feel now?
How you feeling now? Yeah.
Listen, now here's Dennis Wilson says why you don't take Greedy Williams in the first pick. Why are you saying why we didn't or why we don't? Because
I think he's saying the media said that. I don't. That's what I think.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because if he asked me why he can't tackle, okay, and that's an essential part of football. I don't know if people know this.
Hey, Luke,
how to tackle.
Hey, Luke, can you read Aaron Burton's his chat? He said something real significant.
It says, "Who cares about names as long as you can get the job done and play the right way?" Get that man a round of applause because
right. I just want to, please name me the players on the Patriots roster besides Gilmore, Brady, Edelman, and Sony Michel.
Mm-hmm.
Who else on the roster? Please let me know. Name me 5 players on their roster, and we can talk.
They just brought
besides Patrick Chung or Devin McCourty.
Right.
They just brought Jamie Collins and gave him the lowest contract I have ever seen, for a veteran because they told him, man, you come in here and you make one off kilter move, you back out the door because that's why they moved on from Jamie Collins because he had a tendency to. Which brings me to another point. Nobody knew who Jamie Collins was until they knew. I'm just going to keep going.
Right. Exactly. Sean Jones says 130 tackles, 15 and a half tackles for loss. I don't give a damn who he is. Sign him up. And don't forget the sack numbers either, man. And his coverage grades. But, it is what it is.
It's one of the things, it's one of the things. And then I saw another one. I saw another message from Soda Boy who said, if the Lions have a bad season, the Lions are going to draft a quarterback in the first round. Well, here's some interesting facts for you. The Lions can have a great season. The Lions are still going to take a quarterback between the first time.
Yeah, it's time to take a quarterback.
Because Stafford is getting older and you need to start getting ready for the future. It's just good for business. Go and ask team like the Bengals who didn't do it. They tried multiple times and it just didn't work out. And how bad do you got to be that you can't unseat the red rifle? I just want to understand. Why
you even giving him that?
Is he the red rifle or the red rocket? He's rifle?
No, he's a red rifle.
It's a red rifle. That's what I could have swore it was. But I'm just saying, it's one of the things where I just look at it and I say it's going to happen anyway. So I don't think you're going to see too much of a difference. They're going to take a quarterback, and it's inevitable. Because Stafford in about 2 more seasons, you can cut him and save. I think it's over like 50-something million or something like that for letting him walk or something. 21. It's 21. I'm sorry, it's 21 million that you can save for letting him go. So it's one of them small things that I look at and that I just laugh at. Now, the one thing I do love about what Buff does said, who says Rodgers, Breeze, Brady, Big Ben, Watson, Cam, Rivers, Russell, Mahomes, Wentz, Goff, all better than Stafford at J-Mo.
The moment he said Jared Goff, everything he said was irrelevant.
Well, listen, this is my thing.
Jared Goff couldn't be better on Stafford in his best day.
I don't think Jared Goff is better than him. I don't think Deshaun Watson is better than Stafford.
Cam Newton is better than Stafford.
Patrick Mahomes, to me, I am on a wait and see list because I do believe that Patrick Mahomes, he did it one season. You got to be a little bit more consistent for me. I mean, Dak Prescott had an amazing season.
He is talented, no doubt, though.
No, he's talented.
Phillip Rivers is better than Stafford either. Definitely not Carson Wentz either. Like, no.
Yeah, I don't think Phillip Rivers is better, but I think
Drew Brees. I don't know. I might have to get after Drew Brees.
Well, you got to give Drew Brees respect, but I'm just saying in terms of like going through and looking at it, Mahomes to me gotta be a little bit more consistent. And like I said, I just go back and I think about Dak Prescott who had that good season, and the minute you took away the real weapon, which is Ezekiel Elliott, he looked the real suspect. I think once you take away Mahomes' real weapon, which was the run game and that receiver, because if he gets suspended for those games, we're going to find out who he really is. So,
well, I will say this. You're definitely correct. Mahomes has to prove himself more, but I think anyone who really knew football knew Dak Prescott wasn't that good. Like, you can just see it. Ezekiel Elliott was out here running over people.
And listen, I got a stat for you. The Dallas Cowboys had 1,100 yards on first down from scrimmage.
Like, come on, bro. They had the Dallas Cowboys develop one of the best offensive lines we've seen in a decade.
Yeah.
All right, Nomis, man. Peace out, Nomis. Nomis says, take it easy. Now, we finna get off too soon, Nomis, because You know, and again, people, we just wanted to get back to it. We was off for a week. We had a lot of things going on, and you know, we just want to have a little fun with it. And there's nothing crazy about it. But
Buffed Up said Wentz was winning MVP before he got hurt, if I remember.
So,
then the backup won the Super Bowl.
Stafford was
right. He was in MVP conversation too, but you know, didn't the backup win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, right. Okay. They did. Right. That I mean, that's very telling. Very telling.
How good are you really?
You know.
And I like Carson Wentz, but he hasn't done anything in his career to say he's better than Stafford.
A lot of people said you sold on Baker Mayfield. I've always been sold on Baker Mayfield, but I'm not putting him in the class of elite. You have to understand when Baker Mayfield came in for his first year, he came in similar to what Cam Newton came into, but Cam Newton didn't really capitalize on it like that. He came into a perfect situation. He had like 3-4 running backs. He had receivers. He had tight ends. Anybody want to lie and say I'm telling the lie, we can talk about it because he had Njoku. He had the linemen. They went out, paid all that money to all those linemen. So try me if you want to. Don't play yourself. But
right.
Another word. Do your research.
But I think the thing with Baker Mayfield that you're going to see is Baker Mayfield's arrogance and cockiness is going to be the death of him. And I think what you see a lot with him is he's so confident. That's cool. That it gets cocky and arrogant, and that's when he started to make those small mistakes like he did throughout the season. So
what I said about Baker is I was high on. I said Baker was going to be the best quarterback out that draft. Before,
I do agree with that. Yes, I do agree with that.
Before that, I mean, I got receipts, and when I say so, I think he's going to be a good quarterback. He just has to. With the Browns, I think it's a little bit too much pressure on him right now.
Hey, but this is crazy though. This is in other small notes. Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray, back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners. That's crazy.
And first overall.
I think they both were the real deal though. So
here's my thing with Kyler Murray and why I don't fear Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray is going to be pretty decent. I don't have any disrespect for Kyler Murray, but I think Kyler Murray in that game one against the Lions is going to be like, whoa, this the NFL? Yes, it's the NFL.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about Kyler Murray versus us. Oh, it's a wrap, bro. We that's what I said. He better pray we don't injure him and end his career.
So now, Lions fan 75 says Baker team is stacked. It is. Fred Jackson says Detroit fans don't want to admit, but the way Matthew Stafford gets coach fired, it's Jay Cutler like, oh, not even close actually.
Can you show me the coach that led Matthew Stafford and led another football team?
And it's the fact right there. When you talk about people getting fired, if they're so good, why are they not getting like name the offensive or defensive coordinator who left the Lions and got a head coaching job? Name them. Because it's going to be a while. Matter of fact, take it a step further. Name the head coach who left Detroit and got a head coaching job. I'll wait.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not on the quarterback. You can't sit there and say that all those guys' lives were over because of the quarterback. All those guys have flaws in the way that they coach the team as a head coach. Jim Schwartz, I love Jim Schwartz's attitude and how he went after the defense to get the defenses better. The same thing as Gunter Cunningham, RIP Gunter Cunningham. And to me, I respect that aspect of it. But to say it's Jay Cutler, like, no, Jay Cutler was out there just not giving it. Man, I feel like Jay Cutler was on some Prozac or something because it seemed like he didn't know he was playing football half the time.
Man, Jay Cutler he was smoking every day.
And Jay Cutler was still a very good quarterback that people hated. And I thought, man, this guy was really, he's really good. He was good for the Broncos. He was good for the Bears until the supporting cast wasn't around him and he lost motivation. But to sit there and compare him to Stafford or Jay Cutler is totally different.
Hey, I know this is off the topic, what we're talking about right now. But do you guys think Tim Tebow got a fair shot in the NFL?
No.
I don't think he did either, but
I don't think he got a fair shot, man.
So hold on.
But I won't say he was going to be a good quarterback either. But
hold on, I gotta address this. Fred, listen, bro. Fred says, how many coaches have been fired? If I'm so crazy, how many offensive coordinators? Every place is I'm so crazy. I'm speaking facts. Listen, how do you measure a coach? Okay, how do you measure a coach? Go and look at those coordinators and look at what they were doing. Look at their ranking and rushing. Were they balanced? Were they one-dimensional? Any coach that was a coordinator that is one-dimensional should be fired. The key word in here should be adaptability. And if you're not adapting, you should be fired. Period. In terms of the head coaches, if we're going to really talk about it, in terms of the head coaches, look at those head coaches' win-loss record. And then go and look at their decisions to allow these one-dimensional coordinators to be one-dimensional and then wonder why they're so easy to beat. That falls on the head coach. And again, we're back at it. They should be fired. So you could talk about those coaches being fired, but I can make the same argument for the coaches who have left New England as offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators and had head coaching jobs. They have been horrible. And the only thing that has been consistent is their head coach. And the team has been consistent because of the head coach. So when you're doing things consistently and you're adapting and you're able to do it, you won't be fired. In the case of the Lions, in the case of Matthew Stafford, those coaches were not adequate. Even when you go through and you look at people like Jim Caldwell, he only beat bum losing teams.
Right.
And when that happened,
there's one thing you got to realize: just because Stafford so-called, you say get a coach fired, you replace him with somebody else that's trash. Like what? Right. None of the replacements have been adequate.
I mean, it's almost like
you replace him with somebody else who's bad.
I mean, it's almost like this. It's almost like you going out and saying, "I'm gonna buy a new car," right? And you buy a new used car, and when you buy this one, it's leaking oil. So you say, "You know what? I'm gonna buy a new car," and you buy the new car. But this car is now leaking oil and they got a fuel pump problem. Then you say, I'm going to buy a new car. And that new car don't got no engine. Because now you think you don't invented the wheel. And that's what they was doing with Matthew Stafford. They kept buying new cars that had the same problems. Yeah.
And look, and that's when there's somebody going to say, how many new cars you going to get, man? Why you keep messing up your cars? They were messed up from the beginning.
Now, really quick.
Don't you get it?
Really quick. I want to
lemon before I got it.
I want to put this out there too. Shout out to Morgan Trice. Morgan Trice, I forgot about that because he always has to remind me. I am on Discord, people, and the more people I get in Discord, the more I will have conversations directly in Discord where I can talk directly to you. You can send messages to me. We can talk about football stuff, bring up different topics. You can give me suggestions for videos you may want me to make. There are so many different things that we can do and get this thing going. So just FYI, definitely join my Discord. Go to any of my videos. The link is there. Join the Discord, join Twitter, and we're going to get it popping. But it is 10:04, people.
Yep.
And I have to,
have to say bye-bye.
I like Marl's landing comparison with John Elway and Stafford.
What did he say?
He said Stafford is just like Elway.
Okay.
Fred Jackson. I mean, I get Fred Jackson's point. He goes, well, he went to 3 Super Bowls without anybody, and I get it. But what you also are missing, Fred, is this. The point is, without a run game, John Elway didn't get to the promised land like he wanted to without Terrell Davis, and that's just a fact.
Yeah,
that's fact. Terrell Davis changed the way that team looked. No matter who they had out there,
that's crazy. Davis, you said that. Because Denver has always had a run game.
Yep.
They've always had always had a run game.
Had a run game.
Denver.
Oh yeah.
And they got a run game to this day.
I mean, Denver, C.J. Anderson and Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was utter trash, and C.J. Anderson ran them to the Super Bowl with Von Miller's help.
Hold on, wait a minute.
I mean, let's be real.
What's going
on?
Fred
Jackson says, look at the teams John Elway took to the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford was given a 17-0 lead against the Dallas Cowboys, and what happened? They was robbed. That's what happened. They was flat out robbed. The same play that they're now trying to say would have been a challengeable play for review and overturn was robbed. And if that wasn't enough insult to injury, they turned around and apologized because there was also a holding penalty on Ndamukong Suh at the end of the game that the referees missed and they apologized for. But if that's
no, Luke. No, if that's not in charge of injury,
wait a minute. Let me finish this. If that's not enough, if Matthew Stafford put 17 points up, did Matthew Stafford play defense too to give up those other points?
No.
I mean, let's be honest about this. If you're going to bring that up as your example to try to discredit him, let's really talk about it. And then he says, Calvin Johnson, I'd rather retire than keep playing with this bum. Now, that wasn't what happened. Calvin Johnson can say what he wants. Calvin Johnson wanted to go and play for a contender. It had nothing to do with Matthew Stafford. Okay, because without Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson ain't getting those numbers. Who throwing the ball like that?
Hey, Luke. I just want to say when President Obama, when President Obama has to release a statement saying, Detroit fans, I'm sorry that happened to you, referring to the playoff game where we were robbed. This is the president of the United States saying this.
That's your example.
Come on, bro.
That's your example for real.
Yeah. Even if Terrell Davis was
Obama was like, oh yeah, y'all got robbed. I'm sorry. He literally said these words. You don't believe me? Go look it up.
Even if Terrell Davis wasn't on those teams, they still had a run game.
Fred says Terrell Davis was not on those teams in the 80s. You guys must are watching football, man. He said Terrell Davis is not on those teams. Shannon Sharp was not on those teams.
Zero Super Bowls.
They did not win the Super Bowl. That's our point. Terrell Davis made everybody else better. It allowed for receivers to catch the ball. It allowed for them to catch the ball because they put 8 in the box. This is what I'm talking about.
Terrell Davis was carrying the ball like almost 30 times a game.
Man, Terrell Davis had one of the greatest 2-season stretches in NFL history, bro.
Yeah, he was.
Go to that Super Bowl. Listen, just go to the Super Bowl, that first Super Bowl with Terrell Davis. The minute he went out with the migraines, the offense halted. Yep. Don't tell me about no John Elway. Man, y'all better stop playing with me. That's like sitting there saying Troy Aikman carried the Dallas Cowboys when we know it was Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith had nothing to do with that.
Right. Listen. Troy Aikman only averaged like 160 yards a game.
Wow.
Yeah, like for real.
Yeah, that wasn't a lot then.
Bro, man, I don't listen. If you want to tell me about John Elway took the Browns to the Super Bowl, you know what?
John Martin said you guys agreed too much. Somebody debate. Did you not hear the Saquon Barkley part?
Yeah, you did.
I think you need to rewind a little bit.
Yeah, because we
had a real interesting debate. I'm gonna always throw a debate in there. Trust
we always gonna debate on him. We ain't
gonna be too agreeable.
Right. I mean, we ain't no yes guys on here.
He says John Elway took the Browns to the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford can't even get you to the playoffs consistently. What Megatron? Please don't disrespect. I always like this. Man, listen. Fred, you know it's all love over here, Fred. But I'm just being honest, bro. I'm being honest. Matthew Stafford got better after Calvin Johnson was gone. Facts. I can't make this stuff up.
Yeah,
Matthew Stafford in his entire career has never had a run game. And the one time he had a run game for 6 games. 6 games with Javid Best. 6 games, Javid Best. He threw for 5,000 yards, 47 touchdowns. Getting people to the playoffs and all that stuff like that, that's coaching. I don't want to hear that because we can talk about what Drew Brees did last year. Drew Brees stunk it up against the Dallas Cowboys. He stunk up in that game. Even though they got robbed on that call, he still threw a horrible interception. He threw it straight. What made it worse was he threw it and turned his head because he didn't want to take the hit. Don't tell me that John Elway and bring up John Elway like he did something. Yeah, he may have made it to those Super Bowls, but they didn't win it. In fact, they lost horribly. I mean, really bad. Go and look at those Super Bowls that John Elway was in without a run game, and we can talk about it. And why you bring
that was losing like 45-15, bro.
And what? And why you talking about it? Let's go and also look at what their defense was ranked because you act like John Elway was just the second coming of Moses, and he parted the Red Sea on his way to the Super
Bowl. D-Town said something good. But that's why Dan Marino didn't win because he didn't have a running game.
Man, somebody talk to the people.
And then,
facts.
Hey, and then Fred, how about when has the Browns ever went to a Super Bowl?
Listen, he said the Browns to the Super Bowl.
I guess if you want
John Elway took the Browns to the Super Bowl.
He was being facetious, and when he first said it, I had to catch myself to realize he was being facetious because I was just going to tell everybody I don't drink and I don't smoke. But on that comment alone, let me go ahead and have a drink because he said we ain't watching football, but the Browns have been to the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna go ahead and have a drink and a smoke on that. But he was being facetious; he wasn't being for real. But
let's say, hey, look, let's put that for the record. Nobody has suffered like the Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns. We are the 2 worst organizations in the NFL, and we trying to win.
Hey, I'm glad you said that.
I don't know, man. At least we win is bad for the Browns.
Fred, because I love you.
Never won nothing.
Fred, because I love.
Hey, at least we've been to the playoffs. They've been to the playoffs in 2001, bro.
Fred says, y'all keep telling me about how many yards he thought everybody know about Pat Stafford. How many wins he got in the playoffs? How many division wins? Well, here's the thing, Fred. The wins and losses is a team stat. That's not an individual stat. This is not tennis. This is not golf. When Tiger Woods lose, that's Tiger Woods. If Tiger Woods had a partner, then it'd be Tiger Woods and his partner lost. So let's get that out the way first. Secondly, let's talk about this. It's not just about the yards that he threw. It's not about that. It's about looking at the history of the NFL. When you look at the history of the NFL, name me the quarterbacks who won the Super Bowl and did not have a run game. Just name me one. Give me one. I'm not even asking for you to go through a long line of them. Just one. And if that's the case, okay, and buffed up, you are absolutely right. It says, so if Stafford wins, remember, winning is a team stat. I'm going to always say that. You're never going to hear me
always the team stat.
You're never going to hear me say, oh, Stafford gets the win. The team wins. The team loses.
The only way is if nobody shows up but Stafford. But I cannot see if Stafford wins, Darius Slay gonna have something to do with it. Kerryon Johnson gonna have something to do with it. The offensive line gonna have something to do with it. Like, come on now.
And see, if you look at it too, that's the narrative that the media has set out there that is a stat. That's not a stat.
It's not.
Stafford winning. It's the team winning. It's not Stafford.
I mean, just look at Tom Brady in the last Super Bowl. He played like garbage.
Wait, J-Mo, really quick. Buffed Up says Nick Foles. You telling me Nick Foles won without a rushing attack?
Lord.
Stop playing.
Jesus help us.
Stop playing with me. Nick Foles won he won the Super Bowl without a rushing attack. Okay.
Hold on. Do you remember the biggest play in the football game came from the defense, right? Because Tom Brady was about to go win another Super Bowl, and Brandon Graham, fellow Detroit native, was like, "Nah, bro, we got this."
Not today. Not on my watch.
So stop that.
On top of that, the running backs down that stretch to give them the lead before that play ended was the biggest deciding factor. I don't understand why people keep trying this. Then the Chargers won what without a run game.
Mm-hmm.
What year was that?
You don't hear nothing but crickets.
I'm pretty sure when you tell me the year it was probably the same year Fred Flintstone was a popular cartoon. So I'm just saying, let's keep this 100 now. Buffed Up said the Packers. What year did the Packers win the Super Bowl without a run attack? Tell me, what year was that?
Is that the year they won?
No, the year they won, they had the number one defense, and they had a rushing attack.
They had a rushing attack because it was the same exact team that what do you call it?
Was
the same
it
exact
James
team that
Starks,
Brett Favre had.
Yeah. Who's the running back when Charles Woodson was on there when they won it?
I thought it was Starks.
It was.
I think it was Starks, and then it was I think
it was Starks and somebody else.
Ahmed Green or something like that.
Ahmed Bradshaw or something.
The Chargers been in the playoff consistently, at least Motown in the Detroit Lions. That's even arguing.
I'm fact checking that.
Hey, Packers been getting smacked by us for 2 years and they ain't seen no playoffs.
Listen. You want to talk about the Chargers? Let's talk about the Chargers. Okay, let's talk about the Chargers. The Chargers has had all type of talent. You want to tell me Phillip Rivers is better than Matthew Stafford? And I'm not saying you, Fred. I'm talking about Buffed Up said this, and I'm not knocking him. But you want to tell me Phillip Rivers is better than Matthew Stafford? How do you not win a Super Bowl or make it to a Super Bowl with LaDainian Tomlinson at your running back, at your tight end Antonio Gates?
Oh, Ryan Grant.
Okay, Antonio Gates probably gonna be your first ballot.
And don't even get me started. He's had receivers. He's had the offensive line. His defense has had some suspect issues here and there, but nonetheless, he's had talent all across the board. How do you how hard is it for you to win with Antonio Gates and LaDainian Thomas as part of your offense, and then to get against the New England Patriots and every time they just grind it down?
I was about to say Tom Brady gives them nightmares because I remember a Chargers team that everyone said was going to win the Super Bowl last year went right in to play Tom Brady, and what happened? Got smacked up.
Yeah. I mean, which most teams do. They do.
The Chargers were 12-4 or something. 11. They were a great team.
They had a good record.
They were top 10 last year. This is last year. We ain't even going way back to LaDainian. We talking about now. Last year, top 10 offense, top 10 defense, got destroyed by the Patriots. What's the excuse?
Phillip Rivers is better than Matthew Stafford. Man, Phillip. Okay, listen. If you want to play that game,
give Matthew Stafford LT.
Wait, because they pulled us back in. We still finna get off this thing. But listen, tell me this, Dennis Wilson. if Phillip Rivers is better than Matt Pick Six Stafford, that's all these cool names y'all come up with. Let me ask you this: can you name Matthew Stafford's best tight end? Because I know you can name Phillip Rivers' best tight end. Can you name me Matthew Stafford's best running back? Because I know you can name Phillip Rivers' best running back. Name me Matthew Stafford's best offensive lineman. Because I know you can name Phillip Rivers' best offensive lineman. Give me those 3 names and we can talk about it. Give me those. Okay.
He blaming Rivers' head coach. Come on, man.
Oh,
no,
come
the head
on
coach
now.
been bad his whole career, bro.
Bro, listen.
Wasn't the Chargers 14-2? When they 14-2 and they lost the first game and got kicked out?
For sure.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
They was 14-2.
Listen,
Joe Fourier, really?
All I want somebody to do.
He said Joe Fourier.
Listen, all I want somebody to do.
Joe Fourier. Tony Scheffler.
Tony Scheffler. Phillip Rivers is so much better than Matthew Stafford. But you can't name me Stafford's best tight end, best running back, and best offensive lineman.
Russell Gilmore says Reggie Bush and Pettigrew.
Ooh.
Oh,
who are they?
Reggie Bush.
Are they in the league?
Reggie had a decent season.
No, I'm just saying. Who are they?
That's our best running back? Reggie Bush?
Since Barry.
Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Now Dennis Wilson says y'all making too many excuses for Mark Richard, little son, Matthew Stafford. Oh, so we making excuses, but I noticed you skipped over that answer, over that question I asked. I noticed that. See, this is what happened. Y'all say things and don't expect for me to have a comeback. And this is why I tell people, please do your research. Because if you're going to dispute something with me, be prepared. I am. I bet you. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And when I asked you that question, I knew you couldn't answer it and say it with a straight face. And it's not that I'm trying to clown you. It's just saying that put it into perspective. If you telling me that tell me who Matthew Stafford's best running back was, and I'm telling you, you're going to find some interesting things about it.
Right.
Okay. When I ask you who's his best tight end, you're going to find some interesting things about it. But you want to compare him to a guy who had 2 or 3 Hall of Fame players on offense, and we're going to act like that didn't happen.
Mars Landon is right. Rivers threw more interceptions in 10 years than Stafford. Ridiculous.
I want to get on Fred real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to get on Fred real quick. He said, all I know is Eric Ebron went to a better quarterback and he made it to the Pro Bowl. Go look at the drops. Okay, because everybody says, what do you call it? T.Y. Hilton led the team in drops. He was ranked 46 on that team. Now look at Eric Ebron. He was ranked 3rd in the NFL.
Yeah, it's funny.
On top of him having the drops, here's what you're going to get from Eric Ebron. Yeah, he went to Indy. Indy designed their plays to go to the tight end. How many times were plays designed to go to Eric Ebron and he dropped them? Stop playing with me in Detroit. And
also, what's his name? Dwayne Allen, I think his name was. Andrew Luck threw 11 touchdowns to Dwayne Allen, bro.
I was just gonna say that. Like man,
come on, like they love tight end play. He threw 11 touchdowns to Dwayne Allen, bro.
Wait a minute, hold on, wait, and then you want to bring that up? Let's talk about this right here. What did the coach do in the run game? Because I want somebody to dare tell me that Marlon went out there balling. Okay, tell me that didn't happen.
Yeah, he was out there balling.
He was.
Tell me that didn't happen. See, that's the thing that people want to talk to me about.
That defense was good too.
Yeah, Marlon Mack. Yeah, he was out there balling.
You know. He left that bum in there and made a Pro Bowl. That's coaching.
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's coaching.
I wonder, hey, just tell me how Golden Tate doing and we can talk.
Listen,
G-Tate.
You want to tell me about somebody going to the Pro Bowl? Pro Bowls are jokes. Pro Bowls are jokes. Period.
Right. Matthew Stafford threw for 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns. We made the playoffs for the first time in 20 years, and he didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
So let's stop talking.
Yeah, it's like a celebrity show, the Pro Bowl.
And then he threw for 22 touchdowns and 14 interceptions and made the Pro Bowl.
How many times have Grover Quinn got snubbed though too?
But wait a minute, hold on. If that's not enough insult to injury, because we gotta get off. I gotta get up for the morning. But this, if that's not enough.
We're gonna shut it down at 30.
If that's not enough, he go. Mars Leonard. The coach line was nice too. You can name the people on the coach offensive line. You can name a running back. You can come on, stop playing with me. You want to tell me about Eric Ebron?
Hey, look, you need your live, baby. You need your live.
Eric Ebron literally sat up there in the playoffs and dropped 2 touchdown passes. uncontested. You want
got some first downs too.
Come on. And then I got buffed up to my son because he not throwing a 10-yard heat seeking miss. Man, go wake up.
How Kenny Galladay catching?
Y'all done woke up a sleeping bear, man.
Kenny Galladay don't got no problem catching Stafford passes.
No,
man,
come on, man. Y'all
at the end of the day, did he make the Pro Bowl on Matthew Stafford? Know when the last time the Lions had an offensive player as a Pro Bowler?
When the last time the Lions? What? TJ Lane?
Right,
Matt Prater.
TJ Lane. Yep.
Matt Prater.
Calvin Johnson.
Fred. This is not an attack on you, but what I'm doing is I'm showing you, Fred, how so many times the fan base say things not realizing what they're saying.
Yeah,
and I'm just telling you for factual basis. You can look at those small things and say, well, oh, this guy made the Pro Bowl, but when you go and look at those numbers, they're not all that different. They're just not. They're not that different. They're not so significant that they moved the needle a little bit. And the thing is, I just want to point out to you that for all the things that you say are being made as excuses or that you are saying being made as jokes or whatever like that, it's not saying that. It's saying that the narrative that you are putting out is misleading. And we don't want to put out misleading narrative because the fact is those misleading narratives lead to more fans thinking those same things. And now we have a fan base who is too trapped into things that don't make sense. Go and just do the small things and look at it and understand that at the end of the day, the belief in Eric Ebron is so strong. Look at the contract. They didn't believe in him. He had to earn it.
Yep.
And like most people do, when they back against the wall, they show up.
Yes.
But I promise you this.
It's like backing a cat up in a corner.
Okay, he's just not. And that's why I asked the question that I asked when Dennis made the statement. Who was his best tight end? You know, the only Hall of Famer that Stafford played with was Calvin Johnson. And Calvin Johnson not even going to be a first ballot. That's the sad part. But he got better when Calvin left. And that's the facts. And I'm just putting it out there.
Russell Gilmore says Detroit has never had a good offense and good defense at the same time. You're right about that.
James Dekai says Stafford's best running back and tight end haven't got here until now. Point Luke G. I'm just making it out. Just making them out.
So we would definitely figure out what Hockenson does this year. Could he have some of the best numbers for a tight end for their first season with Stafford?
What did Matthew Stafford look like before the team with the prevent hot trash? Huh?
I don't know. I don't know what that one.
Yeah, man, we done.
Well, I will say
y'all out here, man.
Can I say this one thing?
I just feel like Stafford is the only one. Like every other quarterback in the league can get any explanation for their team failing, but Stafford.
Yeah.
Can I say this about the NFC North? What do you call it? This is I know I texted you this TA.
Yeah.
About the whole this is according to NFL.com. Okay. The longest franchise quarterback drought. This is for each of the what do you call it? Now this was based on and this was based out of the regular season wins, minimum passer rating of 75, and minimum of one Pro Bowler. The Lions' longest drought was 1976 to 2008. Hence, enter Matthew Stafford as our best franchise quarterback in our history.
Mm-hmm.
The Chicago Bears from 1988 to present has the longest drought for a franchise quarterback. 1972 to 1991, enter Brett Favre, was the longest longest for the Packers quarterback. And then 2006 to the present is for the Vikings.
Yeah. Wait, I just want to say the Vikings and Bears don't have franchise quarterbacks, but okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's 2006 to present. That means it's still going on for the Vikings and for the what do you call it? The Bears.
Well, they feel like they got their guys. I mean,
they can feel like that all they want.
Minnesota paid Kirk. Hey, Minnesota paid Kirk.
Hey,
and the Bears got Trubisky.
I got a lot to do tomorrow for work.
Yeah, we're gonna end the show, but
guys, let's go ahead and
I am going to point this out. When a person make this following statement, and again, Fred, we are not attacking you, and I don't think you've been a hater. I know you feel like you're speaking facts, but you're not rebuttaling none of the questions that we're posing to you. But here's the thing: when a person make the following statement that says the best quarterback in franchise history is not saying much, then what is? I mean, what is? That is a huge statement to say. The best quarterback in franchise. Could you imagine what it would be like when you could you imagine somebody said Barry Sanders was the best running back in Detroit Lions franchise history? That ain't much. What? It sounds foolish, doesn't it? Or if I were to say something like Peyton Manning was the best quarterback in Colts franchise history, that's not saying much. That sounds real weird, don't it? Or to say that Tom Brady is the best quarterback in Patriots history, that's not saying much. That sounds real strange, but it sounds perfectly fine for people to say that same statement for Matthew Stafford. Wake up, people. Wake up.
Facts.
I mean, come on, man. The longer you sleep, it's going to be a problem.
Facts.
And on top of that, for Melvin Drew, he don't remember Joey Harrington. Joey Harrington got ruined by a bum head coach that now doesn't even know how to speak football on Good Morning Football with on Sunday mornings.
I mean, get me started.
Don't get us started. Okay, guys, we go
and go ahead and check out that video by Luke G.
That being said, people, again, thank you all of you who are subscribed to me. Listen, y'all don't understand. I am truly humble to you. And I promise to get better. My goal is to get better. I want to be better and try to learn to be better for y'all, to keep giving y'all facts and other things. And right, man, I need to make that like a sound bite. But but I mean, in my closing statements, as always, people, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. We appreciate getting it up to 79 likes. And as always, people, I tell you once, I'll tell you twice, and I'll say it 3 times. Please do your research. It's important that you do. It's like giving a penny a day for a kid to drink. Okay, please do your research.
Oh my goodness.
So what's up, fellas? What do you got to say at the
end? The last thing I got to say is something I said earlier, and I just want to reiterate it here. The reason this season is different from all the Lions seasons is this is the first time we have 3 leaders that have won Super Bowls: Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia, and Darrell Bevell. When you have, and now we have players on the team that have won Super Bowls. You know, Amendola, Trey Flowers, guys like that. That's why this team is going to be a different breed than they have been, and we're going to keep running that rock. That's all I got to say.
#facts. Trav, what you got to say?
I will say thank you for joining us. Go ahead and tomorrow at 8 p.m. we got the Piston Center Court at 8 p.m. It'll be on my channel, so if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you want to hear a little bit about basketball and the Detroit Pistons, I know the draft is around the corner, and man, do I got a show for you guys that day.
Yeah.
The show is on June 20th for the draft, so make sure you guys write that in a calendar and put it in your notifications in your phone, because that show will be fire. I got some special guests on the show, and it's going to be a great show. And I just want to say, it was a great show, and I appreciate you guys having me on. Hope we can do this some more.
Oh, I just want to say, make sure you subscribe to Troxel Sports Talk. Make sure you subscribe to Noble Sports Entertainment. Make sure you subscribe to Lou G's Field Review. Make sure you subscribe to Gridiron Blitz. Make sure you subscribe to CA3 Sports Talk. Make sure you subscribe to Michael Mike. Make sure you subscribe to Risky Sports Talk. Make sure you subscribe to Detroit Drew. And make sure you subscribe to Nomis Johnson and everyone.
Sports.
Right. And I said CA3 Sports.
Okay.
Make sure you sub to all our channels. We just bringing that great content for all of y'all, basketball and football.
#facts.
Yep. Take it away.
Yeah. Okay, y'all. Hey, man, what another exciting edition, man. We glad to be back. You see, we gave you guys an extra 30 minutes tonight. Definitely, man. You know that we got families. You know we got busy lives as well. Aside of doing YouTube, make sure you check out everybody's content on their channels. Make sure you subscribe. Definitely, we appreciate everybody for coming in tonight. Make sure you get those likes up before you leave. And we appreciate everybody. Like Travis said, also, make sure you guys tune in to the Piston Center Court. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? The DSA is here to give you positive news on the Detroit Pistons as well as the Detroit Lions, because we know that the Pistons and the Lions have two type of different fan bases. So definitely make sure you try get with Troxel on Troxel Sports Talks and hear the rest of the guys talk about the Detroit Pistons if you like to talk about basketball. But it's just
3 subs away.
3 subs away, guys.
Right, I'm 3 subs away from 500, guys. Subscribe to 313 J-Mo.
Yes, so let J-Mo hit 500. My man Luke, congratulations on 1,000.
Appreciate it, man.
Also, congratulations on Trav, because you'll be at that 100, right, Trav?
Yes, I'll be at 100 with 3 subs.
That's what's up, bro. So I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Good morning, good evening, and good night.